Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark. Today is the 9th of March, 2022. What a day it has been. Disney under siege. Kenobi trailer drops. DC, all sorts of craziness. Turning red controversy. I mean, this day couldn't get any crazier. Maybe it will, you never know. It's Hollywood After Dark, except no fucking substitutes. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It, of course, is Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I keep trying to think what day it is. My kid's back in school, so my days are weird. I'm up super early doing the dad thing. It's kind of terrible when you do a late night show and you got to be up really early to like take your kid off to school like a fucking normie. But that being said, I took last night off. I was just tired. Needed a bit of a break. I was also really frustrated with the night before because, you know, we did the karaoke bit, right? We did the karaoke bit and UMG, Universal Media Group, okay, they decided to come on in like a bunch of banshees, like a bunch of salty sea bitches. And they blocked the stream, all 3.5 hours of it. They blocked it for 10 fucking seconds of In the Navy by YMCA. 10 fucking seconds. And they blocked it. So I had to wait and I had to get rid of it. And then it took time to process because, you know, I can do it in stream. No problem. Not an issue at all. I can handle it super quick, super easy. It just made me a little on the frustrated side because, you know, you guys like to watch this stuff, right? You guys like to watch this stuff and everything else. Asking me, where did I sleep the other night? I slept in bed. By the time the stream was over, my girlfriend had gone to sleep. I was able to tiptoe into the bedroom, climb into bed, and then have it not be mentioned again. Actually, I told her the next morning what happened and she laughed her ass off. She just was not happy that I woke her up. But that being said, let's dive into the quick little shilling part of the evening. As always, Podio Commentary, my podcast for movie discussion. Not to be confused with the reviews that I'm going to be doing on this channel, but more just the long form discussion. Check it out, youtube.com/Podio Commentary. Also, anywhere you get your podcasts, right? Well, if you happen to be a fan of musicals, like I am not, but want to talk about one of the most interesting films thematically in the last, I don't know, probably a couple years, I'm going to be talking all about Disney's Encanto. That's right, folks. Encanto. There's a lot to talk about with that, right? Not only is there how the movie came together, very fascinating. What its influences are, again, very fascinating. The touching upon generational trauma and how narcissistic abuse within families happen. And a light wee bit of incest. But we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Podio Commentary here on YouTube. Again, anywhere you can get your podcast. It will be up on Friday. So be sure to check that out. Also, if you want to support the channel, literally the best way to do that is patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. I don't want to put a lot of things behind paywalls, but I might have to start doing that just to kind of bolster that. I don't know necessarily what that is yet. If I can, honestly, I'll be fair. If I make enough, like, I don't even know really what that is yet, but like a good amount that can sustain me from driving as we hit $4.30 a gallon here in Washington. And as a result of that, my night was dead. Then that won't have to happen. But again, things are up in the air. We'll discuss it. As always, I'll keep you guys informed. I don't want anyone to feel left out. I like this to be an inclusive podcast, not one where I bully you into giving me money. But if you do feel like it, patreon.com/Matt Jarbo or super chats are always greatly appreciated. That being said, let's talk about tonight's stuff. Get my shilling out of the way. I'm joined by an old friend. You might remember this person. It's been a while since they've been here. We thought that they were dead. They were quiet. We didn't hear much from them forever. We were out there, search parties. We sent Saggy out with bubble tea and Dunkin' Donuts through Boston, dragging a donut through the street, asking, where's Anna? Where's Anna? Anna's right here. What's going on?
I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. I recently came back to YouTube. I started streaming again, and I figured why not come back on here again? Because my sleeping schedule's fucked up. So why not?
Mine is so messed up. It is
Yeah,
like
dude.
I slept today. I nap. I like to nap, right? And so, because I'm up late, I do driving and then I do the show, and I got to be refreshed. If I, even if I'm still getting up like at 7 a.m. And so I get home from taking my kid to school, and my girlfriend takes the 4-year-old to the store, but the 2-year-old, we lay her down for a nap, and she's kind of in that age where she's like, I don't want to nap no more. So I put her in her room, and usually we'll hear her kind of mess around for a little bit before she gets tired and she crawls into her crib and she passes out. And no, like around 2 p.m., she finally like got quiet, and I thought, okay, good. I can finally go to sleep, because I was laying in bed, but you know how it is. Like, you got parent brain, so you're listening in case there's like a cry, a yelp, something falls and it breaks. You got to be careful on those subjects. So finally it goes quiet. I finally am able to get comfortable to go to sleep. I wake up about 4:15 p.m. And so I was like, oh crap.
What a time to wake up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, then like I had dinner, and then I went out to go driving, and it's been a hell of a day. And plus today's been interesting. All the news, and all the news today was nuts.
So much has happened.
So much.
Insane. Yeah.
Like, I mean, this morning I'm like, all right, I'm at the library. I'm involved in this DM group about a particular person that we'll probably be talking more about as time goes on. And getting a lot of inside information about a person who's threatened me with legal proceedings.
Oh God.
And you might know who this particular individual is. He's kind of blandy, if you know what I mean. You might want to ignore him a little bit.
A little bit on the nose there, aren't you?
Well, you know what? My pun game is off tonight, and I'll take that. My pun game is off. That being said, and then all of a sudden, I'm at the library, and the Kenobi trailer drops, and I'm all like, what? Because I saw that they had put out like some images for Entertainment Weekly. We got the cover magazine and the new images, and I'm like, oh, that looks dope, man. A trailer's got to be on the horizon. And then it turns out, nope. It was like they dropped it. And I think they dropped it, if you want my honest opinion, I think they dropped it because they wanted to make sure that like whatever else is going on today, and there's a big other controversy with Disney in regards to Florida, I think they wanted to do what they could to like push anyone talking about that away, right? Like, let me jangle this, right? Let me jingle these keys over here so you guys can't actually see what's going on.
Well, you want to know the proof that that's actually what's happening? I know about this, but I have no idea what the other thing is that you're talking about.
You don't know about the "Don't Say Gay" bill in Florida?
I think I've just like I've heard.
We'll talk about it.
I don't
know
many
details.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. There's a thing, right? There's a thing with that.
I didn't know Disney was involved in that though.
Well, it's the lack of involvement. That's what it is, right? It's the lack of doing anything. It's the lack of like, it's a lot of like talking out of both sides of your mouth. That's what people are mad about. But anyway, we'll get to that. But first we got the Entertainment Weekly here dropping these images, and it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, that looks like old, I don't want to say old ass Obi-Wan, but definitely like,
somewhere in the middle,
a seasoned, salt and peppery kind of Obi-Wan, like I am a straight man, but I'd let it smash, right? Just saying. And then you get,
he looks fantastic.
He looks great for it. Oh yeah. Here
honestly, I was expecting a little bit more gray in the beard, but no, like I know he looks good. Like, he doesn't have that naturally, but I don't know. Maybe by the end, like in one of the last 2 episodes, we will see him with like a little bit more, I don't know if they'll use CG or, they could just dye his fucking beard. I don't know why they don't do that stuff anymore, but like, like
they will probably do something by the end of the series or whatever. They'll probably like, because they make sure to tell you that it is a limited series.
Yep. It's going to have a satisfying conclusion, hopefully.
I hope so. I hope it has a satisfying conclusion, because I don't want to be the only one that comes. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure that everybody out there gets this, because the Book of Boba Fett didn't necessarily leave me the most satisfied. I'll be fair.
Me neither.
Like, I didn't even do a review of it. Like that's how I was like, I didn't want, you know what I mean? Yeah. But whereas Kenobi is a bit different of a beast. Of course, we see him here, and I'm assuming it's cave. Kind of a.
This is a very nice visual like set piece right here. I mean,
Yeah, it's like the monk, right? It's like the monk lifestyle. Like I'm just gonna do my thing.
This is kind of like the scenes in episode 4 where Luke first meets him. It kind of looks like those rock formations. Seems to be a general thing on Tatooine. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
that's
mean,
the place
and I'll
where
be
it hangs
fair.
out.
I will absolutely be fair on this one. I am kind of ready to leave Tatooine.
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to bring up real fast. Is like I think that Star Wars fans are burnt out on Tatooine, especially after Book of Boba Fett, and the fact that this series kind of like has to stay almost entirely on Tatooine is going to be like a real big point against
Well,
it.
no, he leaves Tatooine. He leaves. It definitely starts and ends there, but he leaves there. If you watch the trailer, it does look like he goes elsewhere.
True,
Which
yeah.
we will watch the trailer here in a second.
We'll have to be careful about how they do that, but
Yeah. Well, so then we see, him here. And like to me, this looks like Coruscant. I just get a Coruscant vibe off of this shot right here. But
some
like
metropolitan fucking planet, but yeah, maybe it is Coruscant. Could be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be cool if it was Coruscant, to be
That would
honest
be
with
cool,
you.
yeah.
I'd be
Rather than
very
just
happy
some
if it
fucking
was.
nonsense planet. But I don't know. I'm just kind of afraid that it'll just be some random ass place. But that wouldn't be that bad either. Like it's okay to build up new places too. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't mind revisiting old locations, but I'm tired of revisiting Tatooine all the time. That's all.
Yeah. I feel like after Boba Fett, like we have to just get away and go someplace else. Agent Josh 0007 says, Matt, say hello there. Which I will fully admit, I love it when the new Twitter account came live today for the Obi-Wan show. And the first thing I said was just hello there. That was
And
it.
of course they're gonna do that.
Of course. I mean, look, the thing is, like, when they give into the memes, like,
The
they're
people
like,
love
all right,
Kenobi, yeah.
isn't it weird, like, just how like into the meme culture we are? Like, it can almost forgive like so much. It's so weird.
Even though
But
Book of Boba Fett left a sour taste in people's mouth, this is still going to generate a ton of hype because it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, because it's Ian McGregor back as the character. And we're at the point where a lot of people, regardless of what you fucking think of the sequels, there's a lot of nostalgia for them now. And I still maintain, like, episode 1 and 2 suck, but I like episode 3. I think it's actually genuinely really
number 2, honest to God, number 2 will grow on you.
I don't know about that.
I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'm telling you right now, go back and rewatch. If you go back and rewatch episode 2 and you do it from the perspective of like it being more of a political movie and you look at like what he was trying to say at the time and how it was. I mean, then again, like, look.
No, I see the value of what he was trying to say. I just think that overall, I don't know, I find episode 2 to be very fucking boring, and I'm one of the episode 3's biggest fucking defenders. I step up to bat for that movie constantly. I think that I struggle to say that it's good, but maybe I should, because so many people defy the fact that it actually has as many good elements as it does. I recognize all the bad, but dude, I'm sorry. Episode 1 and 2, it's just not for me. Like and I've heard your arguments before that episode 2 is not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as episode 1. I'll agree with you on that. But I don't think it's good.
Well, I mean, I will say that that episode 1 is still like it holds a very special place in my heart. However, I still have issues with it. Right?
Yeah, no, episode 1's not all bad either. It's just like the good stuff about it is buried and shit,
There's a lot of like iffy choices that maybe didn't hold up, stand up to the test of time. Like some of the characterizations, some of the vocalizations of those characters. I feel every time I do like a Watto voice, I really feel like someone from the ADL is going to come try to cancel me. Like, and that's not my intent. But like, like, Andy, right? Like, you're like, oh shit, dude. Like, be careful there. Like,
I think it was a mistake to show us like Anakin Skywalker as a young child. I think seeing him as like an angsty teen and like a young adult, I think that was perfectly fine. I don't know. I just don't like. There's no way. There's no casting that you could have done. Like it's a lot to be a fucking child actor, but to have like you're Darth Vader, like to be cast for that.
Yeah.
that's too much for any fucking kid to deal with. So
It really is. They should have just gone right to him being like
an angsty teenager. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just go right into Attack of the Clones. Like, that would have been okay. I think Yvonne here says, who has more issues, Episode 1 or The Last Jedi? I'm going to say The Last Jedi has more issues.
The Last Jedi has more issues.
Even though The Last Jedi is an objectively better film over like in how it was made. I mean, honestly, like, look, George Lucas ran so Ryan Johnson could walk, right? Let's just be fair.
Could crawl,
but, kind of. but The Last Jedi has so many tonal, pacing, and story issues that like you can go back and watch the Phantom Menace and be like, yeah, all right, like sure, like that was kind of lame. But then by the time you get to the Duel of the Fates part, like that last act, and when like everything's going to hell, and it's so cool, it still holds up. I have so much, like the throne room scene in The Last Jedi is cool. I do like the Battle of Crate. I do think like Finn should have died there. I think that would have been a better choice for the character, but ultimately it's just kind of whatever. But yeah, no, The Last Jedi has a lot more problems. And I know people try to like red pill me on The Last Jedi, and like I listen to their arguments and I'm just like, but this, and I'm not trying to be like a hater. Like I want to like the movie, but there's so much inconsistency with what came before it and ultimately what preceded it, or what succeeded it.
So much missed opportunity as well,
It could have set up a grand mythos, and instead it was just like, my name is Luke Skywalker.
I'm dead. I wish that we could stand around and be like, hey, like, Star Wars has 3 proper trilogies. They might not be perfect, but they all had their own artistic vision.
Sure.
You can't even say that. It's just 2 trilogies that had that.
No, look.
It wasn't someone's, it wasn't even like, I don't even feel like it was a small group of people's like artistic direction. It was just like a bunch of executives being like, well, this is what works. Let's give this to someone.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even really just that. It was what I think happened with the sequel trilogy is that when Disney bought it in 2012, so 10 years almost, this October will be 10 years, and they bought it for the $4 billion. They wanted to bring it into the machine. And they knew that they needed to put out movies, and they knew that they needed to reignite the fan base. And they did that with The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens, yeah, is it like similar to A New Hope? Sure. Is it an objectively good film? Absolutely. Absolutely. But they rushed it into production. And you're right. They didn't have a singular vision.
I don't get how a company like Disney, which seems to, play entirely by long-term game plans. Like, I just don't understand how, with how they treat all their other properties, they were just like so hands off, so laissez-faire with how this was handled. Like, really? Like, why? It took them a couple fucking failures to actually realize, oh, hey, wait a minute, we actually have to take this seriously. Star Wars just doesn't print money no matter what we do. Is that really what it was? Did they really just think that anything they slapped Star Wars on? Hey, let's just get some talented people and just hope that everything like lines up. I mean, it's Star Wars, right?
Well, I mean, no, that's the thing. Star Wars prints money, and all things considered, Star Wars has, for Disney, printed money. It maybe hasn't like been as artistically creative in some avenues as we would have liked as fans, but there's no arguing that it's made a lot of money. And they just did the Galactic Star Cruiser, which takes place in between. I think it's like the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker, albeit briefly. And again, the biggest issue I have with everything that Disney Star Wars has done in regards to their theme parks is they have said it during this time that does not matter, right? And when you go to Galaxy's Edge, which is fun, by the way, but when you go to Galaxy's Edge and you realize that one side of the park is the Resistance, one side of the park is the Resistance.
The Resistance.
Yeah, the Rebellion was the original. Order. I always get kind of confused. I'm like, which one is it? But yeah, so it's one side's the Resistance, one side's the First Order. And like when I went there for the back in 2019, I looked at my brother and I'm like, dude, this is weird. And he's like, what? I'm like, because I have an entire like Depot Bay, a little shop that's all First Order merch. And I'm like, dude, in 6 months or 5 months at this point when we were there, I'm like, Rise of Skywalker is going to be out. And that is going to show us the end of the First Order. So why are they trying to market to it? Like, why not go back to the OT, set it in that time period, tell stories in that time period, or, post Return of the Jedi like they are with The Mandalorian, and give us that kind of stuff. And then when they do that, it's at least setting it into a world where they're telling a story, is not one that's already basically at its logical conclusion. And so I think, again, I feel like whoever ends up taking over Disney next, because I don't think Bob Chapek is going to last very long, I think they're going to have to go back and have a hard conversation about where Star Wars is. Because I know that we jokingly say that like DCEU needs a retcon. Fucking Star Wars needs a retcon. It just needs to, like, not even really a retcon, because I know that's fighting words of some people. But what I mean by that is like a reorientation of story focus. Like you've done the sequel trilogy. That's there. Fine. That's way off in the future. You've got 25 years of storytelling from where you are right now to The Force Awakens. Build off of that. Do that. Or go back and tell us stories between, A New Hope and Empire.
Some of the best Star Wars stories went all the way fucking back too, so you can go back even more than that.
Well, but those aren't canon. Those aren't canon. Legends wasn't canon. The EU wasn't canon.
Hey, Knights of the Old Republic's getting a fucking remake, so that'll be canon if they do that.
Revan was in the Rise of Skywalker art book. So that was a big deal that a lot of people talked about.
Well, that was also clearly the inspiration for I mean, maybe not in any universe, but the inspiration for Kylo Ren's mask.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I would have. I want to see more with it. I do say that. Rational here for $2, buddy. Thank you. Says they should have 3 areas: OT, PT, and sequel trilogy. Well, I mean, Disneyland only has so much space.
Multiple canons. I honestly no. I do think that they should have had like. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but like they should have like multiple canons. I think like they shouldn't have like decanonized quote unquote everything when they acquired the property, because like when they started adapting Marvel for the big screen, it's not like they were just like, okay, the 616 universe that you were reading in the comics no longer exists. It's like because there was a lot of Star Wars comics that were still out that just got canceled instantly back then. Well,
yeah, but at the same time, those were not canon to begin with. And I mean, look, the EU had like a loose canon, they did actually start to kind of go that way, but Lucas never considered it. He never considered it anything other than
there was
just
a surprising amount of consistency, but yeah, that was just writers interchanging with each other. It wasn't like someone on the top, like making sure that everything was being followed to a protocol.
Well, I agree. Because Lucas didn't care. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like a story-driven initiative, which is what Disney was
better off that
gonna
way,
do.
because like I said, that means that writers, they could have their own interpretations. Like something could be like a story that was off, and it's like it could be like an entirely alternate universe fucking take on the Star Wars universe. Like,
see, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not. Like I enjoyed Visions for the most part, and even though those were all kind of alternate takes on Star Wars, I enjoyed that, but I like it in very like pocketed, very rare occurrences. Otherwise, I want there to be, long form storytelling. That's just me though. So why don't we watch the trailer and we can discuss it after that.
The fight is done. We lost. Stay hidden.
The key to hunting Jedi is patience. Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi Code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
hold on. There we go. Pause it right there. That trailer is fucking phenomenal.
I think it's one of the best trailers I've seen in quite a while.
It really is. And here's the thing with that as well. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, Caden. Go ahead.
I was saying it's so action packed.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot in it, and it's and a lot with the Inquisitors, which has always been one of my favorite parts with Rebels, as well as even Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, for those who aren't aware, that's a Star Wars Rebels thing. And dude, Matt, because a lot of people haven't seen Rebels, dude. There's gonna be so many people saying that that's so fucking stupid that their I think their lightsabers are fine, but yeah, their lightsabers are kind of fucking stupid because they go around and like they twist them like a helicopter and they like fly around.
Yeah, well, my complaint was not so
they
much
twist them like a helicopter, dude.
Like my complaint was kind of like this, right? Like, so it's Rupert Friend as the Grand Inquisitor.
Okay,
and I'm like, well, compared to the show, his face is like far too round. It's gonna take me a little bit of time to get used to that.
Okay, well, Ahsoka didn't look perfect either. Like, it's just not.
Ahsoka looked really good. You know, for like
she
for
looked
what
good.
they did.
I'm not saying that she looked bad. I think this guy looks good too. I don't think either one of them look perfect, but they're good.
Well, some people assume also, by the way, that this is Tamara Morrison right here. The back,
but you can
Morrison's
see the
head.
mods on his neck.
Yeah. So you think that it's a former clone?
Oh,
Probably.
Wow.
Could be a clone
that
trooper.
would be cool, yeah. Because I just realized it's like, wait, Tamara Morrison could be like any form of clone. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he had said that he spent 5 or 7 months filming the Book of Boba Fett, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think you would have spent 7 months on that show. I don't feel like there was enough there.
Yeah, there wasn't enough. He wasn't. Didn't seem like there was enough. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Like. And you would know better than me, like how many actual takes went in that shit. It just doesn't.
Well, I have no idea what went into that at all. HBart's here with $5, buddy. Thank you, man. Says I loved hearing the Battle of Heroes, Duel of the Fates mixed. Yeah, that was
amazing.
Yes,
that's got a lot of people very happy.
Yeah, that's the reason why I've watched this trailer like 10 times, because I think it's absolutely amazing. Like I said earlier, I'm one of episode 3's biggest fucking apologists. I say so many fucking good things about that movie, and I love the soundtrack. That's part of the reason why it has. Probably one of the best soundtracks of a movie ever.
And John Williams is working on this one too, isn't he?
I think working so. On the. Yeah, I think. Well, he's working on the theme song.
Yeah.
And the original theme song.
Well, I mean that will be good note regardless. Yeah. McLeod here says, not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping for Jason Isaacs to be playing the live action Grand Inquisitor, as well as voicing him in Rebels. That would have been great.
Yeah.
If they would have got Jason Isaacs to come in to do it, like that would have been, because he has even the physicality. He's very lean, you know, he's very slender. But Rupert Friend is actually a really good actor too. So
the thing about Rupert Friend, he's a good actor and he's a great actor. Like, you know, like I think this is like when I was like, oh yeah, he's playing Agent Callus. He looks just like Agent Callus, and I was like, he's Agent Callus. That's still stuck in my head because I was watching Homeland with my dad, and I was like, he looks just like Agent Callus.
There's also that woman with like the red lightsaber. I don't know if you can get a screenshot of her.
The new Inquisitor.
Well, this is the fifth brother right here, man.
Yeah,
this is from
brother.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
So
well, he's not just in Jedi Fallen Order.
And he's also in Rebels. He's also in Rebels. Yeah.
With the seventh sister, I believe.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean,
I don't wonder who that is, but yeah,
she's a new one. She's
Reva.
Yeah.
There's a part where it shows off her armor. I just want to see if we can get a.
I think it's like
also, well, when she pulls out her blade the first time we see it, and the person that it looks like she's talking to, I think that's John. Is that
Joel Edgerton? Or maybe I don't know. I don't know who's gonna be doing what in this thing. I mean, obviously, right there, she's gonna be on Tatooine talking to Lars.
Uncle Lars and
or Uncle Owen. Uncle Owen. Yeah.
Uncle Owen. Uncle Lars.
Yeah. There's a better shot that we get of her armor.
Let's see if
a little bit later. Yeah.
Look at here.
Maybe it's after this.
I'll let you know when. All right, what I'm thinking on it. It's a lot of little details to take in here.
Yeah, a lot of little things there. That's just a cool shot. Right there.
Right there. I think that's
it's right after this. the shot I'm thinking about is right after this. They show off a little bit more.
Let's see. Hold on. All right. Oh,
There
well,
it is.
see,
Yeah.
whoever this is right here,
Is
right?
she like a
this,
moth or something? Like, what is that armor?
No, she's an inquisitor. She's an inquisitor.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
she's
Inquisitor.
gonna be like she's like one of the new inquisitors, essentially.
She's the second sister.
She's
I
second
believe.
sister. Okay.
Yeah.
So oh,
So
okay.
she's,
Sorry,
like,
I was
right
wrong.
below Grand Inquisitor.
Ronaldo corrected me. He's not in Jedi Fallen Order. He's only
Oh.
in Rebels. Second and ninth sisters are in Jedi Fallen
Oh
Order.
wait,
Okay.
then who? Oh,
So
then
I,
she's
so,
not the
you know, so
second
I will fully. I get things mixed up sometimes, guys. Like it
Yeah,
just
I don't
happens.
know.
It's not like on purpose. Okay, that was Trilla, the second sister. Okay, I need to play Fallen Order again. It's been a while. It's a fantastic game, but I think this is somebody. I think this is a cameo. You know what I mean? Like I think because this is going to
Yeah.
happen. I don't know. This could be O'Shea Jackson Jr. It could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be anyone. It could be Saw Gerrera might even make a fucking appearance in this thing. I don't even know. So, because clearly they're going to tying it into Rebels, tying it into Jedi Fallen Order a little bit, because it does take place right around the same time, I think. Because
Okay.
hold on, Jedi Fallen Order
Jedi Fallen
BBY
Order is
14 BBY.
so
Okay,
that's
so that's 6 years before this.
yeah.
So I mean, Cal Kestis could make an appearance. Could.
And this is 5 years before Rebels. At least at least Obi-Wan's appearance in Rebels.
Oh yeah. So here he's getting shot at by a couple different people.
Yeah.
You know what I suspect to be like a long-term issue for Star Wars, at least when it comes to like these shows and shit, is that like a lot of people are just gonna like we all know how a lot of these characters' story arcs end. I think that's why a lot of people like Mando and Grogu, because like these are characters that we don't know their fates in the sequel trilogy. Like anything could happen to them, like when they're written. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like a character like Obi-Wan Kenobi, I mean, we know how he bites the fucking dust. Spoilers, by the way. Yeah, he dies. I don't know. I just feel like that might be an issue for Star Wars in the future. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I agree with you. I think not knowing the outcome to these characters is going to be essential, which I think that's also what they're building up to. You know, they're going to give us new characters as well as old characters, kind of tying it in. You know, well, Spherical Man here makes a good point. Says I think all the reason for the Tatooine shows is that they may as well use all the set pieces they can while they still have them. Yeah.
Also, I think I think your good friend Jason Ward, making Star Wars, he has been making a lot of exclusiveness, and this basically confirmed. This trailer confirmed like basically all of them. I think that character we see in that character and the one we just saw, I think that's the Straggler. That's what one of the exclusives from Jason was like. Oh, there's a character called the Straggler, who basically is the one that brings Obi-Wan out of like the Straggler and Leia. So it'll be interesting.
See, I don't know, man. I know. Like we saw Luke right there, and I asked. Everyone was like, "Oh," and I'm like, you know what? Like keep him at a distance. Like keep him and Leia at a distance. Yeah, I don't want to see more.
I think that shot, and then maybe another shot of like a far in the distance, him playing somewhere, and then we see Obi-Wan talking to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, like quickly, and then that's like something like that.
I mean, maybe. Either way, this thing May 25th limited series happening right at the same time as Star Wars Celebration. Clearly, this thing's going to break the internet. Clearly, this thing's going to blow up, and I think a lot of people.
We heard Darth Vader's voice.
Yeah, and
not the voice, his breathing.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously that's going to be the big thing there. So this so far is what I've been waiting for, and I'm very excited for it. However, I was told about another teaser trailer today. I didn't see this teaser trailer. I actually downloaded it while we were watching that trailer. I'm not a Star Trek aficionado as much as some people, but here is the Star Wars Star Trek Strange New Worlds teaser that came out today.
Chris. I need you back, Captain.
No matter how many stars there are in the sky, no matter how many galaxies swirl
Wow.
beyond our own, no matter what the mathematical probabilities or the number of times we say, we are not alone in the universe. Our first visit from the stars is always the province of children's stories and science fiction. Until one day, it isn't.
All right. I mean, that looks pretty cool.
It's a very small teaser, but
Yeah. I will say this though. I got really crazy ass Mass Effect vibes.
A
off of
little
that.
bit, a little bit.
Well, like
yeah.
I don't know why. Like I know it's Star Trek, but it's like I get a little Mass
I mean,
Effect
yeah.
off of that.
I
That theme
mean,
at the
Star
end,
Trek
I-
has influenced a lot of sci-fi. So
That theme at the end clicked right with me to ET automatically. Like it reminds me
E.T..
too much of
I mean,
ET.
I can kind of see what you're
yeah,
saying
we're just
there.
like
with-
anything with aliens. Like, yeah, strikes that vibe. I mean, it is Star
Well, the
Trek.
theme, it was just the. It was.
No,
that-
I get
that-
you. No, I get you.
yeah.
That's like the sound font or whatever. You know, it does kind
And I
of.
was just like, oh. And the thing is, like, I don't understand Star Trek, so I don't know anything. What happened? Like,
you don't understand Star Trek? It's pretty easy. Star Trek predated Star Wars and set the tone. Look, here's the funny thing about Star Trek. A lot of the people who grew up with Star Trek that hate the new Star Trek, my opinion is that they completely fundamentally forgot the concept of what it was that Gene Roddenberry was trying to do, because they don't like, they're very like, oh, we don't like anything new. But I'm like, look, man, you look at this, like, for one, we find that shot here.
Star Trek was progressive.
Star Trek has always been progressive. Like, it's always been progressive. And people
I mean,
who
I
are
haven't
really...
seen like the new series, but yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
no. Star Trek has
I know the
always
Next
been
Generation
progressive.
and, like the original series.
Yeah. I mean, like, but that's the thing too. A lot of people, they grew up with it, but they don't recognize it because it wasn't like really outright said. Now it is. And like, the problem with nowadays is, as much as, and I'm a progressive liberal, so I say this and I stand by it, but the problem though is that everybody wants to spotlight shit, and that ends up taking away, I think, from the actual change, because everybody wants to have that spotlight on them. Everybody wants to have the attention.
It's a lot of style over substance.
It
I
really
feel like.
is. Yeah. And so a lot of it ends up being this whole like, well, we're doing this, and it's like, we're the first time we've ever had this or this. And it's like, I said this even the other day, talking about the whole, the whole LGBT representation in Disney content. I said, look, just treat it as normal. Don't how you slip it in under the radar by normalizing it, and without just going like, oh, we had the first LGBTQ2A equals MC square. I don't know what the, in this movie, like, it just, you don't need to do it. That's my take. I'm not saying don't have representation. By all means, have representation, but you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. And if your messaging is vinegar, then don't have messaging. Just do it.
I get what you're saying. I feel like the reason why it happens so often, like where you get messaging that's hammering people over the head, is because it takes time and a lot of effort to actually think of like compelling stuff. You know what I mean? Like it actually takes some, and I feel like a lot of these a lot of people are under like really work intensive in situations where they have to meet deadlines, and there's not really a lot of room to be creative in that type of way. So I feel like that's what leads to a lot of those issues. If I'm being entirely honest, it's just like there's not really that time or that room that should be allowed into these people to be creative.
Yeah. Well, I do want to say that the visuals look amazing.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, it looks
I mean,
absolutely beautiful. Yeah,
for a TV show, like they're putting in the budget, and that's
oh
something
yeah,
that
no, definitely. Paramount Plus hasn't been slacking on the actual
I
budgets.
need to get that because I don't have it, and Halo comes out here pretty soon.
What, Paramount Plus?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I might drop my.
I've never tried Paramount Plus, and I'm actually starting to get tempted because they're actually starting to build up a decent catalog of stuff. So yeah, maybe I will try Paramount Plus.
Yeah, they've got some good shows on there right now. Here,
Yeah, come sponsor Hollywood After Dark. We're saying this for free.
There we go. HR for $5, man. Thank you. Says if Disney owned Star Trek, it would cross over with Star Wars. It absolutely would, and there would be a park. There would be
I really genuinely do believe like it's really silly that Star Trek and Star Wars get compared so much because the only thing they really share in common is being set in space and having star in the name. One's a science fiction and one's really just like fantasy set in space with some sci-fi elements. Like Star Wars is like an amalgamation of things, whereas Star Trek is just like good old sci-fi done it right, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, they're completely different fucking things, and I think that they're incomparable, and I think that people should just look at them for their own goddamn merits and not just get hung up on the word star.
Well, I think at this point, because they've been around for so long, there's not really that problem anymore.
Not really.
I don't think anyone out there is really going to like look at this and go, all right, we have, we got to make sure that there's a differentiation.
Yeah,
I think everyone out there kind of knows.
Yeah, I still see stupid stuff like that. Like I was looking up like fan films because I look at fan films just out of morbid curiosity on occasion. I just like to research the history of them because I like seeing people's passion projects. And I saw this movie called Star Trek Wars, and it was just all about like a bunch of fucking fans of both franchises being like, "What's better, Star Trek or Star Wars?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, the whole premise of this is fucking stupid." You made like a 2-hour short film about it. It's not even a short fucking film. It's a long film.
Well, yeah, I mean, like personally, I prefer Star Wars, but I do like Star Trek as well. I do enjoy Star Trek.
No, they both have their merits,
Yeah. But H Bar for $5 says you can borrow my Paramount Plus to test out if you want. There's definitely a trial. I'm gonna probably cancel my Amazon Prime membership for right now because it's like they raised it to $20 a month.
Season 2 comes out, yeah.
Well, that or The Boys season 3.
Or until we get some fucking news on Lord of the Rings, but who knows?
Well, that's September, so definitely September, 100% September. And then I might, because it's a lot cheaper to check out Paramount Plus right now, and also Netflix just emailed me yesterday. They're upping their price too, so they're raising their price.
They just did that like last year too. So
yeah, they did. So it's kind of crazy. Captain Waldo here says you can try Paramount Plus for free on Prime Video. Oh well, maybe I'll give it a shot.
That's nice.
When the Halo comes out, because that's my jam. That's what I want to see. But that teaser did look pretty good, and I definitely I'll have to check it out. I do need to go back and watch like Star Trek as it is right now. I haven't seen anything past the first like 7 episodes of Discovery, so I'm very far behind. But a lot of my diehard Trekkie friends are like, "It's terrible, it's garbage, I fucking hate it." But here's something else that popped up today. Have you heard of this movie? Nicolas Cage is Nick Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah, I've heard of this before. I don't know many details, but I've heard of Nicolas Cage.
Who's super excited for this movie.
Well, they just dropped a new trailer today, so let's check it out.
What's the worry here, Nick? You've lost some of your talent as an actor?
No. What did he say?
He says he loves you, but he went in a different direction.
I'm done. I'm quitting acting.
Ah, man, I'm driving through the hills. I'm sorry. One more time.
We got another offer. It's $1 million. It's to attend a wealthy gentleman's birthday party.
The guy that owns this house, what's his name?
Javi. Mr. Cage.
Excuse me, is Javi going to want me to,
I'm not sure I understand.
Look, it's Javi.
I am Javi.
Nick Cage. God, this place is stunning. What is your favorite movie? That's one of those questions that's impossible to answer. You can't just limit it to one.
Imagine me and you, I do.
Is it too much? Is this supposed to be me? It's grotesque. I'll give you 20,000 for it. I don't know that was a cliff. We could have died.
I'm in position.
I think that's the actor Nick Cage.
Nick Cage? I love you. Have you seen Crudes 2?
I'm 44 years old. Why would I see Crudes 2? I've seen Face Off.
and Con Air.
What do you guys want?
We're with Central Intelligence. Do you know who you're spending time with? One of the most ruthless men on the face of this planet. I need you to help the U.S. government. Find a way into that room, Nick.
What?
I want to see
see
this
myself
so
doing more
bad.
of this stuff. I think I might have a real gift for it.
Good, because we got another mission for you.
No.
Your friend is working for the U.S. government. Don't lie to me. Are those my golden guns?
They're my golden guns.
I don't want to kill you.
You're the last person I want to kill.
I love you. I love you.
I'm Nick Friggin! Whoa, Cage!
Oh my God! Can
Damn,
we
that
just
looks
talk
pretty
about
good.
that? Looks
That
amazing.
looks
First of all,
hilarious.
can we just
Yeah.
talk about Nicolas Cage playing himself?
Yeah, I like how, because he already plays himself in every movie, so instead they just come out and say it explicitly in this film. It's like, yeah, he's literally playing himself instead of just like, kind of playing himself like he does in most movies. No insult to Nicolas Cage, but he really does get typecast a lot. As just
But I
like
love this
a weirdo.
concept, though.
Yeah,
By
no,
the way,
definitely.
hi,
Yeah.
Anu.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
everyone. Hi.
Hey,
Wow.
What's up, Baggy? What's up,
Right?
Wow.
You're right. That was like the worst. Like
That was
excitement.
pretty bad. Yeah.
Happy
That was,
1:50 a.m. Saggy.
Happy 1:50 a.m. I'm surprised you're awake. How you been?
Good. Oh, my sleeping schedule is fucked, Saggy.
Mine is very fucked too. I'm
Oh yeah,
used to it
sorry,
now.
mine's fucked.
hey,
too.
hey, we're all fucked. Let's talk about Nicolas Cage movies.
Wait,
okay.
did I miss the Kenobi?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
you
missed
missed
the Kenobi.
Fuck, I missed the
What
Kenobi.
did you have something to say about General Kenobi?
I talked about it a little bit tonight on my stream, but I was like, okay, I'm liking all of the TV shows they're coming out with, so I'm actually looking forward to Kenobi. I wasn't before because I was like,
Wait, you even
Kenobi.
liked Book of Boba Tea? Like,
I did
really?
like Book of Boba Fett.
Oh really? Oh, it
I
was.
did like
Yeah,
Book
it
of
wasn't bad. It wasn't.
It wasn't the worst. I mean, it wasn't Mandalorian, but I was excited for that. But this
Yeah,
one,
definitely,
yes,
I agree.
this Nicolas Cage one, it looks great. Pedro
Looks good,
Pascal. I thought this whole concept, like, I didn't know where they were going. I was like, is this supposed to be a comedy? Like, what is it supposed to be?
Something
And then
that's
they
not based on like a derivative franchise
right,
as well.
and
So.
then they get into it. Oh yeah, he's a criminal, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, man. This looks absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
And
It's
I'm
funny because Tiffany Haddish and Ike Barinholtz.
yeah, I like him, by the way. He's
they were in-
really funny.
They were an Apple TV Plus series together recently called The After Party that Lord and Miller created together.
Oh, I hear that
Really
was
good.
really good.
It's really good. It's really good. But yeah, they were in that
Oh
together.
yeah, how good?
Really good.
Really good. Tell us more.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. This is that no. It's like how good was Tiffany Haddish? So good. She did the same
a
thing
minute.
she always does in every movie. Oh, don't stop. No, I'm gonna come. No.
I thought that was doing it for you, Jarbo. Wasn't doing it
No,
for
that
you?
does not do it for
All
me.
right,
I'm
no more
sorry.
Cougar
Like
talk, yeah.
I have no issue with Tiffany Haddish. I just don't think she's that entertaining. However, she does look funny here because maybe it's something a little bit different. I don't know. But either way, this is a theatrical release. This will get my butt to theaters.
Oh, it's a theatrical.
I mean, your butt's
Yeah.
been getting to theaters. It's not like you haven't been getting your butt to theaters, Jarbo.
All things I saw Spider-Man No Way Home and I saw Batman, and that was like it in the last 3 months. So
Exactly. So you
I don't want to hear your shit.
Hey, do you think that Nicolas Cage can get enough butts in theaters though?
I hope so. I truly hope
I think
so.
it's because
I think the concept of this movie will get people's butt in theaters because it's a for once we're getting an original fucking movie. It's not based on something. It's an original
Next
story.
thing find out.
Well, I mean that means I hate to say it, but in today's culture, that means people are probably less likely to go out and support it. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't. I mean, they should go out and support original material. But you and I are like probably in the minority of people who think that way these days, Saggy. A lot of people just go out and they're just like, I want to consume franchise.
I want to consume the same shit I've been consuming for the last few years. Another Batman
Wait,
movie? Yeah.
Hold the fucking phone here.
Fucking fight me, bro.
Everyone consumes product. Everyone consumes multitudes of the same product. You want to bitch about like superhero consumption? Go back to the 60s and 70s when it was like nothing but Westerns. It was just like,
I don't want to go back to that.
John Wayne chain
That's bad,
smoke while
too.
beating African Americans. Here you fucking go every Saturday. Every Saturday. Different movie.
You know what, Matt? I don't want to hear. I don't want to see the same fucking shit over and over again. I want some damn variety.
You get variety on streaming, motherfucker. There's variety out there right now. You know, have you gone and seen Uncharted? That's kind of different.
I want variety in 3.
What about Marry Me? Did you go see Marry Me, that new one with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson? It looks like a cute movie.
It was pretty cute. It was a cute movie. It was a cute
Taco,
movie.
taco, burrito, taco flavored kisses.
What the fuck, Matt?
Oh, you don't know that? You don't know that?
You don't know
Oh my! How do
I
you
just
not
heard
know
that out of
taco flavored
context.
kisses?
I just heard that.
Oh my god!
You ever seen that South Park episode?
Could make a run for the border. I'm gonna get that.
That was from South Park. It was from South Park.
It makes fun of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez like 20 years ago, where like Cartman becomes Jennifer Lopez, his hand, and like at one point Ben Affleck comes to South Park and like he gives Ben Affleck a hand job.
Taco flavored kisses.
Taco flavored kisses. Oh my god, man! All I'm saying is, look, people like what they like, and ebbs and it flows, obviously, you know. But it's like, look, you can't sit there. Okay, you know, you want to know what you can't. You know, the worst part. I'll tell you this: the worst part is not fucking superhero movies. The worst thing is like reality TV bullshit. That's the worst part. Like the Kardashians, anything on TLC.
Kardashians. I've seen enough of them today.
Dude, they all looked like Sith Inquisitors. Did you see that image? They all looked like Sith Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think it was.
Like, and then Kim Kardashian's like, you know how to be a better person is to work your ass off. Then what happened? Like, what?
She just. We saw her work her ass off. Okay, like we saw.
Now wait a minute.
We saw how much work went into that butt.
Yeah, my butt. But RJ says I have no butt. I have a butt.
I mean, it's but it's not a Kim Kardashian butt. So like to a lot of dudes, it's kind of like.
I mean, it could be. If I
it could be. Do you know Photoshop?
Do you know Photoshop?
No, I mean I know of Photoshop.
You could do a lot with Photoshop. I'm not saying you should do. I'm just saying you could do.
Jarbo, are you confessing all your photos are Photoshop? Because that explains a lot.
I use a beauty filter on.
I believe
on my
that
phone.
shit. I believe that shit.
It does it automatically, but like I looked good in my selfie today. I had that real solid 40-year-old dad energy. I'll fully admit.
You literally did. I literally said that.
But I was any fan of a DILF in my audience was popping both ovaries. Maybe some dudes. Who knows? I get hit on by guys occasionally. It's very nice.
Because you're a bear.
The whole
Wow.
comment was that
You're a bear.
someone, one of the writer on that show, editor on that show, was like, "Yeah, I worked my ass off on your show, and yet I'm still going to 7-Eleven for dinner."
Caden, shut up and send nudes.
Yeah.
What? Oh my
HWAD here
God.
says, as a Latino, I can cancel Matt. No,
Well,
I'm
I
just
can tell what
kidding.
kind of mood Saggy's in tonight. Jesus fucking Christ.
She's in the mood for violence, but also I do want to get this one here. Rational asks if we can watch the Legacy of the Sith trailer. Yeah, we will towards the end. I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm in a Star Wars mood tonight. We will definitely check. It's 6 minutes long. That's why it's kind of at the end.
I'm scared anytime you read Rational super chats because he's gonna be like, "Tell Saggy to Google that." I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah, well, because he's mentioned some stuff that's aimed for adults, and obviously her immature mind can't quite handle it.
Sus.
Blue waffle, Saggy. Google blue waffle.
No, I've seen it. Thank you. I know what that
don't
is.
do
No,
that.
shut up. Jarbo is a Silverhawk.
I can't believe
Yeah.
you said that. By the way, to anyone who's watching this, please don't look that up. Like Jarbo,
I would.
you're insane.
Look
man.
it up and just know it's not real. That's all I'm saying.
I Googled it and I just came across like blue waffles. I didn't see anything gross.
Yeah, if you did look it up, know that's
Wait,
Photoshopped and it was.
Hold
made
on, I'm gonna
up.
look it up again.
It was
Blue
doctored.
waffle, not safe for work. How about that?
No, it was fucking doctored, Matt. It's not real.
All right. Well, hold on. Okay. Oh,
You know, it's
what?
gross, but it's not real. So
Hold on.
I haven't seen Blue Waffle in a while. I actually want to remember what it looks like.
Oh, what? It looks
Why are
like
you so grossed out by something?
it
that
looks
doesn't
like
exist?
roast beef.
But it's not real, Jarbo. Like, why?
Well,
do you
no.
care?
Okay. So according to Reddit's explain it like I'm 5. Here, well, it says here, explain what is a blue waffle. And
What
someone
the
responds
fuck
here
are
by
all these
saying it's
pictures?
basically a slang term for a mythical vaginal infection / STD
Yeah,
on
it's
the
not
vagina.
real.
The infection allegedly causes lesions on the outside of the vagina as well as bruising, which causes it to look blue in color. There is no such disease, but it is a common internet myth that keeps popping up.
Oh wait, Blue Waffle's fake?
Yeah, if you've seen an image of that, it's a fucking Photoshop. You got fucking finagled into believing
It's like
that it was real.
okay, so it's a Photoshop of multiple vaginas that is discolored. It's not one vagina; it's multiple different vaginas.
Multiple vaginas.
Yeah, it's actually you could actually see.
Multiple.
Yeah, you could
So
actually
it's
see.
it's a collage of multiple
Yes,
vaginas.
it's literally a collage of multiple
Okay,
vaginas.
so it
that are
looks
made to-
like a Dark Souls boss.
Yes, that's what it was. It's a multiple
Okay.
picture. It's a picture of multiple vaginas, and when you Google, God, Lord have mercy, when you Google "blue waffle not safe for work," there are worse pictures that of on there.
There really,
There
really
are worse
are.
pictures, and some of
It's
them actually
terrible.
might be real. Yeah, some of
They
them are
they
really-
look like I mean, like we've all seen what if you take a pie.
Okay, I'm done. I'm fucking.
No, don't say anything more.
I scrolled down.
All right, let's move on. Hold on, HWAD here says for $5, thank you. When Matt turns 40, he will hang out at Home Depot and drink black coffee, no sugar added, please. I'll start drinking full sugar rock stars. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Maybe I'll pick up smoking again.
Oh god.
Shiny, we talking blueberry waffles? I'm hungry.
Whoa.
Will you if you're gonna dry heave, can you?
Oh no!
Close
No,
it
you're
out.
gonna have to. You're gonna have to hear me. No, I closed it out, but I'm still thinking of it. Oh my god! Oh, there was one I scrolled down too far. It looked like an eye.
Spherical Commander says, "Thank God I'm eating right now." That's right, man. Get it good. So why don't we keep moving on while Saggy needs something to distract her? So today, interestingly enough, was the 15-year anniversary of Zack Snyder's 300.
God damn.
Really crazy to think about. Like this iconic, "This is Sparta" happened 15 years ago. It's a great moment in the movie, really iconic moment in the film. I loved it quite a bit. Of course, and you got this fantastic visual imagery of the Spartan pushing the Persians off a cliff. You know, very iconic. A lot of people think this really happened. It probably didn't, but it would still look cool. I once asked
historical information that Zack Snyder gave us, guys.
I actually asked Zach at Comic-Con that year a question about the battle cam where like it goes like from the wide, medium, and close-up shot and like morphs in and out. And I asked him why I asked him how he did it, and he just said because it looked cool. So that's prime
look cool, you know?
Prime Zack Snyder conversation right there. This amazing shot here of Leonidas about ready to get got. Already has an arrow right in his chest and one even coming out right there in his shoulder.
And also, he has like a dagger right there too.
Yeah. What, in him?
Yeah, in the top.
On the top
right. Yeah, top left.
above
shoulder.
the arrow, like diagonally.
You don't
above.
see it? Are you
No,
serious?
it's an arrow that's through his other side. It looks like.
No, it's an arrow. You see the arrow under his chest, but look right where his cape is on the shoulder. It's right under there.
Yeah, there's
That's
like a
what
little knife dagger thingy.
I don't know what that. It looks kind of weird from here. To be
I
fair,
don't think it's a knife dagger. I think it's a cut.
It might be a cut. It looks kind of weird. I might need to go and I need to pull up my 4K and enhance. But anyway, great shot on that one. And then I mean, this part was great too. The arrows blotted out the sun. From how many there were. I mean, the thing is,
I would have shit myself if I saw that coming at me.
Well, don't you know, Sega, they have shields that they are able to protect themselves with.
Fuck
so
the shield. I
they were
still
good.
see that coming at me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm out. I'm fucking out.
I'm out. I'm done.
I'm out. Y'all are on your own.
Oh, I
Bye.
didn't even see the arrows coming down. Oh shit.
All
Yeah,
those
that's
black
all-
spots are arrows.
I didn't see it until now. I was looking at all the people.
Oh my god.
And then I looked up and I was like, oh snap.
Oh my god. What did you think? It was like an airbrush painting?
Well, I mean, that's
No,
kind of the whole
didn't
point. The
look
way
at
that
it.
they
I didn't
had
even look up.
made the movie was very much like that. I mean, you know, this is one of the comic, I would say one of the first comic book adaptations that attempted to very much make it look like it was jumping off of the page. And the way Snyder put that together, again, he's, you know, outside of his fan base being insufferable from time to time, the dude makes good movies. So
yeah, he does. He makes very visually stunning movies, and the way he shoots his films, like if you look at the tone, it is always kind of like dark, but there's always some kind of like artistic style of how he shoots his films. He always tries to make it like visually like stunning, and I think that the 300 was one of those movies that was very visually stunning. It was shot differently too. The way it was shot was very different.
Well, I think for me, the biggest problem that I had with it was, again, like the way he shoots stuff is Army of the Dead and that Dream Lens really got old after a while. And I hope he doesn't do that for the sequel, but I have no idea. H Bart's here with $5, man. Thank you. He says, everyone forgets the 300 comic is based on the real Battle of Thermopylae. Yeah, but the 300 comic is based on the real Battle of Thermopylae, but the real Spartans actually had head to toe armor. They were armored. Like the real Battle of Thermopylae is so vastly different.
Showing off their pads.
Yeah, they weren't like a bunch. It wasn't a homoerotic fantasy.
Oh, what did you do now? What did you do now?
What?
What?
You didn't see that comment?
No.
Shiny.
Hold on here. I'm on Max's thumbnail. Yeah. That's why he had 90 people watching him tonight, because he put me on the thumbnail and he put a tinfoil hat on me because of the DC stuff, which we'll talk about. The DC stuff here in a few minutes. But yeah, that's why he put me on Max's thumbnail. It was I knew about it ahead of time. I even jumped on his stream twice to I even kind of got into it with RJ tonight about the DC stuff. To be fair.
Well, goddamn.
RJ, he's getting ballsy. He's snapping even at me. Like that's you don't talk to your father that way.
First of all, whoa. Second of all, yeah, RJ's been getting thug lately. Like, remember today, y'all were in the DM where RJ said, I said I just put Z's in the chat. I just put Z because I was bored with the conversation. RJ clapped back, shut up, bitch. And I was like,
he gets a little saucy in private conversations. It's pretty funny.
He gets spicy.
He gets a little, yeah.
He's got a little hood all of a sudden. Like he's been hanging out with us way too fucking long.
So I think he's
RJ like 6 months ago would have said that shit. He would have been like, "What's up, guys?"
Javi here says, "Team RJ, sorry, not sorry."
You say that so you actually have to talk to RJ for more than 5 minutes.
RJ.
Yeah, that's
RJ. Where's that little bitch tonight?
He is over on another stream.
Damn,
what a clout chasing hoe.
So he is over he's on someone else's stream that is less popular than the stream. That's all.
Whoa, damn.
Wow,
so,
why are you taking shots at people?
Because I can.
Listen, I disavow. I had no idea he was going to say some dumb shit like that, and I'm not defending him. Okay,
you know what? I avow it.
You avow it.
I disavow.
Yeah.
Anna, what? How are you going to?
All right, so let's move on here. By the way, Sean McLeod here says, "Not Another Teen Movie is a masterpiece of cinema." I love that movie.
Oh, George R. Martin.
Yeah, so they've been a little bit of information dropping today about the whole Game of Thrones prequel stuff, right? So he says here that this is just a quickie, but George R. Martin is heavily involved in every one of the Game of Thrones prequels, and he's still making progress on the Winds of Winter.
Okay, well, where the fuck was he for the season finale of Game of Thrones?
Well, that's the thing is like the last couple of seasons he just deferred away, and then threw them all under the bus, and I still blame him for what happened with Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
I think the writers, they did what they could with the material that he told them was going to happen, but at the same time, to be fair to George, he had written the series with all of these characters that weren't even in the show, or they were killed off early, or their fates were changed. And so, it is what it is. But at the same time, when he had provided a number of books to serve as the basis for these stories, and then it had 8 years to crank out some more. 8 years, and he just didn't do it.
I'm just saying, I think if he had more involvement the last few seasons, I think fans would, because like there was so like, how are you gonna end a show that was so popular with so many unanswered friggin' things? Like there was a redemption arc given to a character that everyone wanted to be redeemed, and then they just said, "Nah, we're just gonna say fuck that."
Well, I think when it comes to that particular thing here, by the way, just 'cause I forgot to get this other one up here. I think with that particular character redemption, it was the idea there was that sometimes you can't be redeemed. No matter what you try, you're still going to be brought back to your past. And that's kind of the whole point. I didn't really care for it myself, but I feel like if he would have gone and stayed, it would have been a bit of a cop-out. Even though he earned it, I think it would have been a cop-out.
But there was also times, like, for the best example of like how the ending really fucked a character up is Tyrion Lannister, dude. That shit pissed me off. Like, bro, even the actor who played it, right? See, even he said, he's like, it made no sense that you have Tyrion, who was built up to be this, even though he was, you know, deformed and defected, like how the book depict him, how the book said, like he was just this little guy, but he wasn't strong as a man, but he was smart as fuck. And you're telling me the smartest person in the room was like, let's go into a crypt where these motherfuckers are raising the dead. So let's go into a place where all the dead people are to fucking hide. They won't get us here. And even he was like, that was the dumbest thing they wrote. So
well,
like, dude,
sometimes
Also-
in these
also what
shows that
happened
has to happen.
What happened to the Bay of Dragons? You know, like in season like 6,
Bay
I
of
believe?
Dragon.
Like Daenerys told a general to go hang out to deal with the Bay of Dragons, and then after that, nothing happened.
I don't know. I mean, I got to go back and watch it again. I know there's the 4K set of everything, but I think it might be in high resolution HBO Max. I love the show. I like how it ended. I was fine with the ending of it. I know a lot of people out there weren't, and that's okay. HWAD's here for another $5, but I think it says George R. Martin, bitch ass, can finish Elden Ring but not his book.
Oof.
I mean, dude, but I was playing Elden Ring all last night. There's not much story that's there. You know what I mean? It's not, I can honestly tell you, he probably like wrote it over a weekend and they just like filled in the gaps and then gave it to George at the end there. But also, thank you very much for that, H-Parts too. Going on here, it says George R. R. Martin shares the new titles for several Game of Thrones prequel series: 9 Voyages, The Sea Snake, Dunk and Egg, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, or The Hedge Knight. And then also a Yeti animated series, The Golden Empire. So, I mean, they're doing a lot with the Game of Thrones stuff because that is where the money is for HBO. That is where the damn money is. So, I mean, I know people out there want it to be the DC stuff, but it's Game of Thrones.
I'm kind of looking forward to House of Dragon.
Yeah.
Just not like crazy looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to the fact that we're going to see like a bunch of dragons.
They better they better hope that they're not investing into something that just turned out to be something that had like legs for a single series, because there's a lot of investment into something that could go nowhere. I mean, it could. Let's not deny. Like this could go nowhere. And they're putting all their eggs in one basket here, and I'm just like, I don't know. Just because DC hasn't worked out for them doesn't mean that putting their This has a storied history too. It's like, why would you invest so much into this? Don't they have like some franchises that are a little bit more stable than this?
Well, I mean, it's like I would argue that the two biggest franchises that Warner Brothers has is Game of Thrones and Harry Potter. And especially today, well, they're both controversial. I mean, J.K. Rowling today, that was interesting. This is clearly not like a political podcast, but like she was trending again for some stuff that she said. And then Vaush came out and like criticized her. So she like retweeted Vaush.
And then she tweeted a picture of something Vaush said or something like that.
Yeah. And then someone was like, they pulled out that like, should, I think, child porn be legal clip of his. And like, and the one that gets used to smear him all the time, even though he doesn't.
And then she was like, "Oh my stars!"
Yeah, I know. Right? I know. It's all political theater is all it is. Yeah, it's all crazy. Anthony here says they need to adapt Shrek into live action. Dude, you can go on Netflix right now and watch Shrek the musical. So you can go and see that fucking monstrosity. By the way, also this week on Netflix, Shrek 1 and Shrek 2 are both in the top 10 for movies on Netflix this week. Shrek still holds up. Still slaps.
Yeah. And Puss in Boots is finally having his sequel coming out this year.
Oh yeah, the trailer drops tomorrow, man. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that. I like Puss in Boots. I think Antonio Banderas needs a bit more love. So why don't we move on, because there's still a lot to get to tonight. We'll talk about one of the main stories here, of course, that is that the Penguin is getting a confirmed spinoff.
And it's a limited series.
Limited series, yes. And this, of course, is effectively the Batman 2 is what this is. We talked about this one before, but the reason why this is important.
1.5.
What?
Like,
well,
it's
no, because
it's gonna be more like the Peacemaker to the Suicide Squad. Like it's
no.
Well, one character like from a movie, right? Like,
have you seen the Batman yet, Anna?
No, I don't care about spoilers though. So go ahead and talk.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it because like not everyone here has seen it, and I don't want to spoil it yet. It's only been a couple days. Like, calm your tits. But the Penguin, like the second movie was going to be about the Penguin, and they scrapped it, and they're turning that into the show. So who knows what's going to happen with the sequel? But obviously, Warner Brothers. What? Yeah, the Batman.
The main villain for
yes, yes, that was the original idea. Was that the Penguin was going to be the main villain for the sequel? Because I don't want to go into it because like at the very end, Batman says some stuff about what's going on, and he's like, "There's going to be blank happening." And then it kind of shows a bit of a montage, and we see a bit of Oswald here, and you're like, oh, all right. They kind of established that like now with someone else out of the way, something can happen. It's very vague.
But it's hard to talk about, I imagine.
It is. I don't want to, and I do want to do a spoil stream because I really, really, really like the movie. But it is just one of those things.
The thing I want to say about this is probably, I don't know if this is spoiling that, so I'm not going to even say it. So.
All right. Well.
Yeah, it is hard to talk about here. Although Shrek is daddy for $2, man. Thank you. Says, what are the chances?
You've seen this profile picture a million times.
Oh, I know. It's your oldest. Wait, is that just twig and berries right there? I can't tell.
Yes,
very small. I haven't looked. It's very tiny. So small.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
So small. But he says here, what are the chances Batman shows up in the Penguin? I think relatively high. Maybe not all the way through, but definitely a cameo.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'll be in it.
Talk about this.
Like,
yes, don't say a fucking word. But anyway, the reason why this was important today is because this information dropped this morning, and it dropped mere hours before all of a sudden everything went crazy, and Warner Brothers came out and moved fucking everything.
Well, the first thing that came out was The Rock's Instagram video.
Yeah, The Rock announced Super Pets and Black Adam.
Hold on. Let me. I meant to grab it.
Wow, you don't follow The Rock?
There he is, the movie star.
No, I don't follow. I follow movie stars, Caden. Anyway.
Oh my god.
No,
Here.
He's the world's greatest entertainer.
All right, guys, I have got some big and exciting news to share with you coming out of our movie industry. As you guys know, this year we have two huge and epic $7 productions and DC movies coming out. The first is Super Pets. The second one is the one and only Black Adam. So here's the big and exciting news. We are moving and grooving, and we are changing release dates. I'm planting two flags right here, right now. I wanted you guys to hear it directly from me first. The first flag is we are moving Super Pets to July 29th of this year. I know what you're thinking, Rock, that's the Black Adam date. It was. The second flag I'm planting, Black Adam will now move to October 21st, right before Halloween, playing through Thanksgiving and playing through the Christmas holidays. Cannot wait for you to see these movies. Super Pets, July 29th, October 21st, The Man in Black, Black Adam. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. I love you guys. Enjoy the movies.
You know the craziest part about this is to me, Matt, is like they're hyping this up like this is a great big positive announcement that they delayed 2 movies. Like,
and then it's like, oh, it's just 2 movies. Psych.
Like, here's Warner Brothers' big hype announcement that they're delivering to their fan base. Here's them showing them how much they fucking love us by delaying their fucking films. Why? Because they only have faith in the Batman and nothing else. They don't have faith in anything else except for Batman and Batman adjacent characters. If you're not Batman, you look at the DC League of Super Pets. Look who's on there. It's fucking Batman's dumb fucking ugly mug.
You know who's playing him in the movie, right? Keanu
Reeves. Yeah.
Keanu.
But the funny thing about the reason why they're delaying Black Adam is because oh my god, Jarbo was right about the Black Adam movie because The Rock is just The Rock, and it's very generic.
Thank you.
And so they're doing extensive reshoots.
The Flush.
Well, I'll say, okay, so look, it's like I've been saying.
Right.
It's like I've been saying. The Rock is, and I like him as an entertainer. I'm critical, but I watch his movies. I'm gonna go see Black Adam. But them moving this to October is very fascinating because it's gonna go up right around the same time as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But that first movie didn't do very well because it lost out to Aquaman back in 2018. And it was Aquaman, Bumblebee, and Mary Poppins Returns that all came out right around the same time. And Aquaman was like the only one that did numbers.
Yeah,
all the other ones crashed and burned. So I'm wondering if they're like, well, we already went up against Spider-Man a couple of years ago. Let's try it with The Rock. And it's like, dude, we're talking now. We're living in a post No Way Home world, which means that like Spider-Man and multiverses are in. They are in. If they are told correctly, they will generate a lot of money. This movie did find a huge audience on streaming. It won Best Animated Feature back in 2019.
Multiverses can be easy for low creativity effort, like low effort storytelling, if I'm being entirely honest, too.
Well, that's DC's approach to it, obviously. Yeah. So there's that. But we can also... Hold on, what you got here?
Yeah, so basically this is One Take News, who literally like 30 minutes after it was announced that all these things are being pushed back, they released this article saying that it's been development to hell for years. It was on track to finally release this summer, but now it's been delayed to October, and then Black Adam undergoes Jeez, what the fuck?
Hold it. You want me to read it? Just like click off.
Yeah.
All right. One Take News has heard from trusted sources that Black Adam is set to undergo reshoots shortly. Sources also mentioned that the reshoots will last for quite a while, but the time frame is to be announced. However, this is not a bad thing at all. We want to stress that the film has tested positively, and these reshoots are meant to help improve the film's overall quality. In this case, it seems that the reshoots will last longer than normal.
Well, not what our friend Casey Walsh says about the reshoots is that that test screenings for Black Adam were not as good as they expected. Visual effects still needs a lot of work. And as also going more depth is that he also said that it's generic and The Rock is just The Rock. And so yeah.
I mean, and that's what I've been saying. Is just like that's the problem with The Rock.
If you guys need help to figure out if these guys are reliable or not, hold on, let me go to the actual.
Can I just say
if just in case, because I know some people question this, but just they're pretty much that.
They're connected with a Big Screen Leaks, which is a verified Twitter account.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's I would give them a bit more credibility than, a
lot of people.
Someone who drinks a lot of coffee. I'll just leave it like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. My name is Mace Randolph.
Okay, can I just say, by the way,
Randolph. Hi guys.
that image that you had up like earlier, Jarbo, that they like used like that right there. You see the Aquaman 2 logo? That's not the official logo. That's like a fan made logo.
No, this is from
official.
Culture Crave. This is
no,
from
I know that, but like the rest of these logos are official, except for the Flash one. I think that one's fan made as well. But the Aquaman 2 one's made up by fans, and the reason why they used it is because there's actually an official Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom logo, and it just looks it's one of the worst fucking logos for a movie I've ever seen in my entire life. They're like, this is some serious like graphic design is my passion shit. Like, what the fuck am I looking at right now? This looks terrible.
The Q is so out of place with that line right through it that it makes me wonder if this is a nod to the Q movement here in the United States, that really what it's trying to tell you is that you have to look under the ocean, because under the ocean you will find rapture.
This is
And
the
rapture
worst, background possible, dude. Look
By
at
the
this.
way, we've got 100 people watching right now, guys. Thank you all so much. Smack the shit out that like. If you hate this first year design student logo, smack the like. If you like it, first smack yourself, then
This
the
has been
like.
the only official representation of the logo. That this is the only shot that we got of the movie in general until we got those shots of Jason Momoa in the stealth suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that suit was sexy.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
I was not
Okay,
expecting.
what the hell?
What happened? I
Your
said I'd be
voice
right
is like-
back.
Yeah, but your voice is like
Yeah, now
you
you
fucking
sound different, Melons.
yeah. Talk again.
Yeah, speak American.
Talk. No, what?
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 Hold on. I think I had to lower you. I had to lower your volume
Is it better?
a little bit.
What happened?
You sound like a completely different person. I don't know how to put it.
Sometimes that does happen.
I just
with-
muted.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen with StreamYard. It does. Like
Did
I've
I
noticed.
sound sexier?
No, you sounded like one
Yes.
of those soccer moms that catches her son masturbating to Latino
What?
gay porn.
What
are you doing?
fuck?
Because you're now you're like, oh my god,
That's
my son's going to hell. We're
specific, yeah, bro.
Catholic. I mean, there's no coming back from this. It's
You're talking from experience. Is that what happened to you?
no,
the
because
heck,
I'm
bro?
I am a
I didn't know that
non-religious
you were
individual.
Latino.
I'm not.
What?
RJ is though.
Oh yeah, that's true. RJ.
Ah,
RJ.
Don't yell at me, guys. It's on my phone. I was muted. I didn't even touch my mic. I went to the bathroom real quick. I come back, and apparently my mic was like, "I'm going to destroy all of your eardrums."
yeah, kind of. Rational here says Warner Brothers needs to announce Cavill is staying on as Superman and announce Man of Steel 2, and also have Cavill market this movie and tease The Rock Superman showdown. That's kind of the whole point, right? That's kind of the point. However, though, with this particular move, the Flash gets moved back once again.
The flush.
And it's been moved back now so many times. I think 8 times.
Do you mind if I have the article here?
I can say
I can
I
bring it
said
up
this
real
on
fast.
Enosh's stream as well. At least this time, we have a product. Because before we didn't, when it was delayed multiple times.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was very
it was originally
questionable
intended for
what-
2016, and then
Yeah.
it was March 23rd, 2018, and
Then it
and
moved up to March
yeah.
18th,
Who's that?
Yeah, and then it was March 16th.
March 16th.
Then it was March. Let's see.
That boy's sexy.
Yeah, it kept getting delayed. Leaving the Flash without a release date. So at that point, it had no release date. So
Between 2019 and
then it
2021,
didn't even have a
there's
release
no
date at
Flash.
all. They didn't even delay it. They were just like, nope, no release date.
And then
Damn.
finally, July
Fantastic Beast
1st.
fucking delayed it.
We don't talk about H-bar.
Oh my god. It was finally announced with a new title at 2017, Flashpoint.
Comic-Con.
Based on the comic book title of the same name. Oh yeah, that lasted. 2018. All right. They confirmed the directors in March of 2018, and the titles the film's title was reverted to The Flash. That was just 1 year ago you renamed the fucking Flashpoint, and now it's The Flash again. All right, and now they're insisting that it's not Flashpoint. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, here's what we do know about this movie. It's the Flush.
Yeah, the
This
Flush.
is the official DC logo for the movie.
Oh
Alright,
yeah,
alright.
so
An
the
actual
thing is,
picture
so
of Matt Jarbo's plunger.
This is the best part. Filming was expected to begin in Atlanta in February 2019, but Miller's commitments to Fantastic Beasts delayed filming again. Dude,
I'm
this is
dying over this.
This is because it's
Anna,
fucking
you
hilarious.
okay?
I'm not watching this movie anymore. Like I look, I was honest with what I said to you guys earlier on. I mean, if this thing gets delayed again, I'm not watching it because I just don't care anymore. I just don't fucking care if they're gonna keep the. There's nothing I hate more than media being discussed, which hasn't been released yet. People getting all up in arms and opinionated about it because I want it to come out so people can judge it based on its merits. and that's just not gonna. What's this movie gonna hit like one fucking decade of being announced and delayed and delayed and delayed over and over again? I mean,
Well, look at
Jesus
Black Adam.
Christ!
I thumb to it.
Oh Jesus Christ! I mean, that's it. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be. Look, I think I do feel that looking at this movie at the Flash, it's good. It's got the most problems, but I'm telling you, the biggest one is Ezra Miller himself. He's just not interesting.
Look, I feel this movie's really in like a chokehold because of Ezra Miller being there.
Wait, did you pay attention at all to the whole story arc of Ezra Miller fights the KKK?
Yeah, I paid attention to that shit, dude. That was interesting. Yeah, I couldn't track down like the exact reason. Like I get it, like they're fucking Klansmen, but I couldn't track down the exact triggering event, like the one thing that was done that like really like made him come out and say that.
It was because of Beulah's Field House. That was apparently close.
That what? Okay,
I mean, and like nothing came from it as far as I know. Like
nothing came from it.
Just,
so, like,
yeah, like he used his platform. He talked about it for like literally 24 hours.
I think he just got high and got mad at the Klan, which is understandable enough. Like I think the Klan sucks too, but like I mean, I don't know. It's just like what a weird thing to do with your time and your platform to accomplish nothing, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, according to Anthony here, the MCU has done 16 movies since The Flash was his first release date in 2016.
Wow.
Yeah. Andrew here asking, can we talk about the unbearable weight of massive talent? We already did, man. You got to go back a little bit. We watched the whole trailer and everything.
Someone asked about Batgirl. Well, Batgirl was an HBO Max movie, which was supposed to come out this December. So now it's probably going to come out next December.
Yeah, here's what I think might happen. I think because the Penguin show is as far along in development as it is, they might shoot that this summer and then have it out for the holidays. I mean, it's a tight one. It's a tight one, but
but at least they don't have like, if it's not like one of those shows that they have crazy visual effects heavy, it's probably not. It's probably just some gangster rising series.
Yeah. The hardest part's going to be the makeup, right? Doing the makeup for him and everything else. But I mean, other than that, they could shoot a lot of it on like the stagecraft for certain sets. I mean, I will say like you can see where they did the stagecraft technology in the Batman and it looks fantastic. So, I mean, there's a lot you can do with that there. Hold on here. Anthony Beltre, thank you, buddy. He says the Flush movie is the New Mutants of DC.
New Mutants had more consistency than this did. It had more of a vision than this goddamn did. I mean, it hasn't been tossed around as much as this film has.
To be honest.
Yeah, but just not like on a literal fucking sense. Like it's been handed around by less people. Like there's been less screenplay attempts. Less directors.
Can we quickly though, before we move on, can we talk about like the one movie in all of this that just got absolutely royally fucked? And that's Shazam 2. Because they put it literally up against Avatar 2, same day release.
Yeah.
And then a week after that is like Mario? A week later.
You know what? This isn't the first time that they did this for poor old Shazam either.
No, I mean the
first movie really had some really difficult competition, like some really hard competition. It was
it was in between Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Yeah,
you know,
and that was a Christmas movie in April, and now this is a summer movie in December.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of.
I feel fucking bad for Shazam, dude. Like, I don't know if it's gonna go that fucking far.
I feel like that's probably, I like I said earlier, it's like I feel that if anything, Black Adam should be the sacrificial lamb. Now, here's my reason for saying this, and I have my audience here now. So you guys like to fight me on The Rock, and you guys like to tell me that The Rock is this amazing talent. Fine. So don't you think that the people's champ, that the number one movie star in the world, the number one entertainer in the world, the man who is untouchable, the man who literally is a boulder unto himself on top of a mountain. Don't you think that man should go up against Avatar, the highest grossing box office film of all time? $2.87 billion. Do you not think that The Rock should walk right up to that blue monkey and smack it in the face? And go like, can you smell what The Rock is cooking with this unobtainium? And then from there, they battle it out in the box office. Don't you fucking think that the number one draw, the number one guy, the highest paid actor, the one who can do no wrong, every movie is $1 billion blockbuster. don't you think that should be the guy to go up against Avatar? To show him with a true power and the hierarchy of the DC universe that has now changed, what it can do?
Dude, the hierarchy of the DC universe is about to become exactly the fucking same. It's just going to be Batman, Batman, Batman. That's all it's going to be fucking, from here on out. Because
Where's
let me
my
tell you,
wannabe series?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson and all his like amazing muscles and his smiles and his charisma, none of that can fucking save this shit. Because you know what? He's not playing Batman. Maybe if Dwayne The Rock Johnson was playing Batman or Nightwing or Batgirl, then he'd actually have some success. But he's not a Batman adjacent character. He's playing a not Batman character. So
Well,
DC's not going to give two fucking diddly
well,
dicks.
yeah. And look, and again, like I see people in the chat going like, but no one like cares about Avatar. Dude, that is not true. That is not true. Because where fucking Avengers Endgame beat out Avatar for highest grossing film in the box office. And then during the pandemic, China re-released Avatar and it overtook that number again. I'm telling you guys, man, I'm fucking telling you. It might have been a long ass time. It's been too long if you ask me. But once they start dropping the marketing, once they re-release Avatar in theaters, probably a new remastered version of it, they might even test it where it's 3D without the 3D glasses, because that's something apparently that Cameron is working on. Probably not though, because I don't know. I haven't heard any movement on that technology.
You know what, Jarbo? I've heard you be steadfast in this opinion for I don't know, maybe
I've
years
held
now.
this opinion. I've held this opinion for quite some time.
I
So I'm
agree.
just saying.
You've been consistent, man. I'll give you that. But you know what? I'm starting to disagree because I just keep looking at it, and I'm just like, I'm willing to be proven wrong, man. But I don't think Avatar has the momentum that you think it does.
I'm telling you, you might go, no one cares about the blue kitty people. Bullshit. Everyone likes fucking cats. Not the movie Cats, because that was a goddamn travesty.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait.
But
wait,
the
Jarbo.
fucking
But like this movie, Avatar 2 is going to get compared to Cats so much.
No, it's
gonna
not.
get-
No, it's
Yes,
no,
it is.
no, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
No, it's not.
No, people
it's
can't
not.
take CG Cats people seriously anymore, Jarbo. I'm serious. No,
Dude,
no, I'm
but they're
serious.
not. It's not going to be like the butthole cut of Cats, where it's like they had the buttholes and then they
Well,
removed
you don't
them.
think they're going to show off Navi ass?
Probably not going to show off Navi ass.
Oh, damn.
Maybe Zoe Saldana. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, I can only hope. Okay, I'll be honest. Her as a cat person is kind of hot. All right,
we don't
and I'm
need
not into
cat
that
blood.
shit.
We
So
don't
I have a
need
lot
cat
of conflicting feelings about that. It's like Natiri is kind of hot, and it's like fuck down boner. But it's like, no, I'm kidding.
But like, how are they
I'm
going to?
telling-
Because like 3D doesn't have the appeal it used to. It doesn't have like the button seat like appeal that it used to.
No, but like I said, man, it's all about the experience. And when you get back to that experience, when they finally remaster it and they re-release that trailer, and it's all like, back in 2009, audiences were wowed by going to the world of tomorrow, Pandora, relive the magical journey with the Na'vi and Jake Sully as they take on, whatever the fuck. They're going to do a trailer. Now it's going to be Disney doing the trailers for it. The Disney hype machine, the Disney marketing machine is going to come in. They're going to throw cash upon cash upon cash at this movie. It is going to be the most talked about thing this holiday season. Straight up.
Matt,
And
do you
they're
think
gonna-
we'll ever get VR movies?
Yeah.
Like as a
yeah.
serious thing. Like
Yeah. I think what they're going to do, man. Here's the thing if IMAX is getting into the television market, we're going to like Oculus and all that stuff, being able to watch some of these movies and like with your VR helmet on and just like lay back and like, just you have your headset on and you can watch it. Like a friend of mine watches them and like there's like a theater app, I think. And you can like, it feels like you're in a theater and you're just watching a movie on your thing. That's where things are going to go as VR starts to kick off in the next couple of years and shit. I mean, if Facebook gets what they want with Meta, Meta is going to be like the go-to. It's like Ready Player One, right?
Could you see like an Avatar sequel being done like to cater to that type of experience?
Yeah. I mean, the key is to look to see where the sex industry is on. I know I'm a pervert, but I mean that literally.
It's true though. Yeah.
I am a pervert, but it's like but I mean that literally. Like where you've got. Watch what they're doing with the technology that's available, and you'll see where the innovations are. It's very weird, but it's very true. Again, I know people out there are like, I see, was it here? Hold on. I saw someone say something about like, Oh yeah. James Cameron never misses with sequels. To be fair, Terminator 2 was better than Terminator 1.
That's one example, sure, but
all right, John here says, I bet $100 that Avatar is under $1 billion at the box office. I'm not going to make a bet on any box office stuff, but if fucking Spider-Man No Way Home can crack a bill, dude, Avatar will bring it to 100%.
Spider-Man's way more iconic than the Smurf people.
But the Smurf people.
Way
all
more
right, don't
iconic
underestimate the
than
blue
James Cameron.
Smurf people. All right, Shiny here says no Navi ass. I'm out. You know, you could probably find that on the P Hub.
Oh, you can definitely find that on there.
H Bards here says Avatar gonna flop. Avatar's not gonna flop.
It's not gonna flop.
It's not gonna flop.
It'll be a success. I'm
Disney,
just not,
Frost here says it's not gonna do good domestic job, but that's a load of shit. I'll tell you why. Tell you why. Because look at when it's releasing, December 16th. That is right before the holiday break. Disney knows when to release these movies. Disney knows when to release these films for maximum market impact. They know that they got to get this movie in China. The first movie is massively popular in China, so the second one is going to do is going to do very good. All right. And yeah, right. So our RWP here says every time James Cameron is bet against, he comes out on top. All right. You know, I mean, like,
Jesus.
no, but I will say the guy's not without, you know, like, look, Alita Battle Angel, he produced it. It was a fine, I love the movie. But like it didn't do, it barely cracked 400 million. People have been demanding a sequel. Terminator Dark Fate, he produced it. People really bashed on it. I personally loved it and thought that it was unfairly treated. But there's hits and there's misses and whatnot. But that was also a lot of like he wasn't directing it. He was producing it and he had problems with Tim Miller. And I think threw him under the bus. However, this is Avatar, man. This is the thing. Technology is going to be pushed. New technology is going to emerge. And once that hype is there, it's going to be there. I'm telling you guys. I'm straight up telling you. All right. So that is my take on that. John here says Dark Fate was a good movie. Sandra says Matt, Aliens is my favorite. And damn straight, man. All right. Aliens, Terminator 2. He's got 2 out of 2 for iconic sequels. When people ask the question, you ever had those arguments? What sequel is better than the original? How often does Terminator 2 and Aliens come up in that conversation? A lot. So, I'm telling you, but I'll let's see. Sean here says Strange Days was a flop and he wrote it. He has to direct it to be a hit. I mean, his wife at the time directed it, and she went on to go win Oscar. She won the first female to win a Best Director Oscar for Zero Dark 30. No, it wasn't Zero Dark 30. It was The Hurt Locker. Anyway, Andrew here says Terminator 3 is a better film than most give it credit for. I like Terminator 3. That movie actually opened July 10th, 2003. And I really liked it because it opened a week after Pirates of the Caribbean. Go figure on that one, right? So, we lost Saggy.
Saggy died.
She just says, I gotta go smash.
SMH.
Okay. I don't know. Here's the thing. No, Cameron did not do the Terminator sequels. Right? He did not do the Terminator sequels. There's a difference there. He didn't have the rights to them. There's a difference.
That's not what that means, Jarbo. That says, I gotta go shake my head.
I know what she meant. I'm just saying she could also, you know what? We're going to give her a sexy exit.
God.
We're going to give her a sexit, right? Like give her a sexy exit. She got to go smash. All right. Then all of her simps will just be all like, oh, was she smashing? It's just gonna be like a pumpkin.
Yeah. Pumpkin.
Anyway, I gotta start wrapping this thing up pretty soon. I got to be up early in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
I may not be able to get to the Star Wars thing tonight just because I do have to be up at 7 a.m. So let's dive into shitburgers. Hold on.
Shitburgers.
No, let's talk about the situation going on right now with Turning Red.
Oh yeah. This is a big deal.
This is a big deal today, and I think it's a lot of overreaction, to be fair. And it's kind of interesting. Oh, we're also sorry here. I did miss this one from H Barts. I didn't want to forget it. Saying here, if you check Wikipedia, DC has announced more projects than will ever come out than films they have released. Yeah, well, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, good for them for having that college try, but money be a motherfucker, right? And then Benson here says, it's clear Warner Brothers has no confidence in these movies and want to focus on the new world of Pattinson, as they should. As I've said, just scrap everything and send it off to HBO Max outside of the Batman. Okay. So yeah, Turning Red. Sorry, Turning Red controversy now the movie drops tomorrow night at like 24 hours from now on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And it's another Pixar movie. And I'll tell you this, like I watched a clip of it today because they put out this like 2-minute clip. And I understand why Sean O'Connell from Cinema Blend wrote the article that he did. I get it. This is Pixar's first attempt at an anime. This is legit. This is an anime. I don't think there's any denying that at this point. But it's a hybrid anime.
What constitutes an anime?
It has anime themes to it, man. It's got like the over the top performances. I know it's meant to be like a 13-year-old girl, so I get that. But it's a lot of the over the top stuff. The way like the eyes sparkle. Like there's like.
Did you watch Lucky Dragon?
Oh, Luck Dragon?
Luck Dragon, yeah.
Oh no, do you mean Wish Dragon?
Or Wish Dragon, yeah.
Yeah. I saw Wish Dragon a few times. That was really good.
That an anime?
Not traditionally, no. It's a CG film, but it's really good.
I mean, there's plenty of Western animation that's anime inspired, so.
Well, and this is anime inspired. And honest to God, like I'm gonna watch it. I know I'm gonna like it, but the trailer, something about it has always kind of like been a bit off to me. And like watching obviously this movie, the Turning Red is a metaphor for having a period. Let's be fair.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's and then
That's
like
the whole point. This is
totally get it.
Yeah, it's about it's targeted to the female audience, about especially young female audiences to learn about their maturity and their period. That's basically what it is.
You say that so quiet, like you're like, it's a mystery. Cadence all every 28 days something happens to a woman's body. Blood comes from everywhere. We don't know why, but it does. And then your dad's like, you ever heard of a self-cleaning oven? Same concept. It's just the human body.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I've been waiting to use that self-cleaning oven joke for like 15 years. So like I've been that's been in the back of my mind. I've hung on. I tried dropping it once before, but it didn't land. And it clearly didn't land here either. And that's okay. That's comedy. It's experimental. That being said, you could say period. That's fine. It happens.
It happens.
Like, do you, any of you guys remember? I'll tell you this. The worst period joke I ever heard was in South Park, the movie.
Of course.
When Mr. Garrison just says, like, maybe your moms are all on their periods or something. Mr. Garrison is like, what? I don't trust anything for bleeds for 5 days and doesn't die. Like, dude, that fucking line. You've ever seen the movie? You remember that line?
Yeah,
remember that line at all?
Yeah.
Man, I was 17 when that shit dropped. That was one of like the most fucking like out. I was like, whoa, like, oh my God, I've never heard anything like that before, And
you've never heard anything like that.
I hadn't, man. I hadn't at that point in time. So, let's see here. Divot King says LMAO self-cleaning oven. Approves. There you go.
Oh my God.
But yeah, anyway, it does kind of Frost Owner says weeb shit past Disney is falling apart before our eyes. I mean, not really, but like, anyway, let's go on here. So, Turning Red cast members are speaking up in support of the new Pixar film and its universality following a controversial review for the animated movie that was published by Cinema Blend. The review was pulled offline after being called sexist, racist, and more by members of the press. Cinema Blend's managing director Sean O'Connell wrote the review saying that the film's appeal was limited because it's set in the Asian community of Toronto. He says here
it does take place in Toronto and it is based off of Asian family, but it's not limited to just an Asian community in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
it's a worldwide thing that happens to every female.
But he says here, I recognize the humor in the film, but connected with none of it. By rooting Turning Red very specifically in the Asian community of Toronto, the film legitimately feels like it was made for director Dami Shi's friends and immediate family members, which is fine, but also a tad limiting in scope. Well, you know what's interesting about that is I was actually looking up this morning, I was researching Encanto for Podio commentary. And some of the reviews I was reading over on Rotten Tomatoes from Rotten Tomato approved critics were criticizing the scope, the limited scope, and the lack of an overall villain for Encanto. They were criticized. So it's like, you know, like, is it just how he said it that people got mad at? But the same argument was made for Encanto.
The headline that he chose as his tweet. And
yeah, he kind of doubled down on that. He did, and they go on to say here, some Pixar films are made for universal audiences. Turning Red is not. The target audience for this one feels very specific and very narrow. If you are in it, this might work well for you, but I'm not in it. This was exhausting. Now,
and I think you're right about the whole thing, but it's being ignorant. You know,
yeah, it's not racist. It's not racist. It's definitely
racist.
stupid, but
it's like it's ignorance in the way that he should, you know, realize, wait, like that this isn't for me, but what has been for me, you know, in the way that, like, even Nicole Brown said, like, there's been shit for you for the past 60 years, you know?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing with that too, right? If I recall, and you go back to 2018, right? And Brie Larson's comments about, I don't need to know what a 40-year-old white male thinks about whatever the fuck that movie was called. You know, the one with Oprah and like Mindy Kaling and Reese Witherspoon.
Was
you
it
know the one?
Oh,
Ava DuVernay directed it. What's it called? No, it was
or Hidden Figures.
Wasn't no. That was actually pretty universally loved.
Oh, yeah. I know which.
Yeah. It was
The Giver. Oh, not The Giver.
What
the Helper.
The Giver?
The Helper.
It wasn't The Helper. No. Now you're just making up movies here. Hold on. Ava
all right, boys. I'm falling asleep at the fucking desk. I gotta get some snooze.
All right.
No,
thanks for having me, Jar.
Oh, A Wrinkle in Time. That's what it was.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Bye.
Anna. Thanks for coming on in.
Good night, Anna.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like the whole thing is like, you know, Wrinkle in Time was, again, very, very much made for a very, very specific audience, and it crashed at the box office. You know, and that's another thing too. It's like, you know, I mean,
Brie Larson there though, that if it's not, I know.
But who can tell someone what they can think about a movie?
Well, I just want to say this is that if it's like, you know, like me and Jimbo also had this conversation on our own, you know, the chat, is that, like, you know, with that whole person saying, oh, Batman doesn't smile, but like if it's not for you. If it's the target audience is not yours, you're not in the target audience, then you don't know anything about the character, then you probably should step back and let someone else that is in your sight that knows more about that thing
Sure.
I mean, connected to it to
I get that. I guess I get that on, like, let's say an outlet level, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like they're trying to, you know, they weren't attacking it from that perspective. They were trying to call him, like, LeVar Burton. LeVar Burton called him out, right? Like they're trying to frame it as something that, I mean, look, I think Sean O'Connell is an unethical douchebag, right? For using his platform of Cinema Blend to write articles promoting his book, using snippets from his book, without disclosing that he's getting paid from selling copies of his book. I was very, you know, and
also that, and like, just like even though, like, he, you know, like, you know, you're talking about the book and he used that community, and not only that, is that, like, I heard from someone that he even tried to contact Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns to write another book or a chapter in the book about toxicity, and about how Joss Whedon's toxicity, not about his toxicity, but toxicity towards them.
Sure.
And all that stuff. And I'm like if you were gonna write a true book about the true history about this, about the Snyder Cut movement and Snyder's point of view, you don't ask them because they're gonna totally have you debunk everything that Snyder has said.
Yeah.
Because that's who they are right now. At that point, at that point in stage when he was going to do that, that's where they were. So it's like you were just doing this for what, and it's just so
No,
weird.
no, I get it. I get it. I think that, but I agree with Ryan here. Generally speaking, the target audience is never an excuse for quality.
No, it's not. I'm just saying that it's at like, if the target audience doesn't like it either, then and it didn't hit them, then that's a clear factor that this is not a good movie. But if it's someone who's outside the target audience who doesn't like it, then it's like, why should I take their opinion into fact?
Well, but the whole point is, though, there might be somebody out there who's like, well, I like what Sean O'Connell says about movies, right? That's part of it. People come to me and they ask my opinion on movies. Like, someone last night was like, oh, I'm looking forward to your review on Turning Red. Sure, I'm excited to see it. Part of me, though, I think like that was the whole line about it being exhausting, because I don't generally read reviews before I see movies. I might look to see what people's reactions are on social media.
Even though like I'm big on like this whole thing, I don't read reviews because of that, and also because I just don't care about what people say.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way about it. I'd rather have a discussion about a movie rather than
read something and be like, oh,
yeah,
that scene,
yeah.
because this person said that this scene was terrible. I'm like, oh, that's gonna bug. No, even if I read it, I'm just like, okay, cool. That's your opinion.
Exactly. But then also says here, Cinema Blend announced Tuesday that the review was pulled from its website. The editor-in-chief issued the following statement: "We failed to properly edit this review. It never should have gone up. We have unpublished it and assigned it to someone else. We have also added new levels of editorial oversight. Thank you for everyone who spoke up." And then, O'Connell issued his own apology with saying that he didn't explain his point of view properly. But it's like,
that's the thing. Also, just like this whole thing, even though we could discuss that it's not really racist or sexist, whatever, it's more ignorance and an ignorance point of view, and even that, but still bad PR for Cinema Blend. And taking as much action as they should be.
Just what action should they take? They assigned it to to like their managing editor. All right, so like, I mean, for one, maybe that was their problem on that one. Like when the problem with Sean O'Connell is that like it's really hard to differentiate where Cinema Blend like ends and he begins. Like in many ways, you're kind of like looking at that and like, all right, they're kind of together on that front. Because he's kind of like the main guy there. It feels like he's like the main person that you see. Yeah, and so, but at the same time,
Jake Hamilton. Like,
yeah. Oh my. Oh wait, hold on. Like no one, and what I love about that too, by the way, is like no one remembers when Jake Hamilton mansplained the Brie Larson controversy to Brie Larson.
Oh, he did.
He did. So he was interviewing her for Captain Marvel. And he basically like explained back to her why people were like supposedly upset, and like she knew about it, and he did it, and no one said a thing about it, And I was laughing my ass off back in 2019 when that happened. That's because weird. I have to find it and show it to you. I won't look it up right now, but yeah. I personally think for one, different people are going to have different reactions to movies. I do feel that Turning Red is very limited in scope. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. I mean, I love Encanto, and that's very limited in scope as well.
Right.
So I think it's going to be interesting, but let me finish this though. Yeah. I think the biggest complaint I'm going to have from the movie is that the whole, like 14-year-old girl, like trope might get a little bit old. And by that, I mean like the dialogue and like the over the top, like, anime infused part of it. And, and I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but like, I think that's going to be like, it's kind of like, as much as I love Scott Pilgrim, I feel the movie sometimes went a little bit above and beyond trying to nail that aesthetic, because sometimes less is more. And I mean, but then again, like, Dami, she did the Bow short, right. And I love Bow. I thought Bow was amazing. So I'm really excited to see how she's going to tackle this.
Like, just reminded me of Inside Out with Riley, who another like 13 to 14-year-old girl who's going through puberty and emotional stuff going on with her, and like as we see, like, you know, so it's like I wonder if the similarities between these two are going to be, because they're both pretty much the same premise.
Well, but I think the difference though is Riley wasn't the lead. Riley was a story device. She was a character,
like the quote unquote lead, but like what's really inside her head was the real lead.
Yeah. And I'll say this, I fucking when I saw Inside Out, it was towards the end of its run. And my girlfriend and I were just kind of out and about one day, and we had like, you know, recently moved to Portland, and we were just, you know, we didn't have a car. So we were just kind of taking the bus everywhere. And we ended up over by the theater. I'm like, oh, you want to go see the new Inside Out movie with the new Pixar? She's like, yeah, all right. So we just went to go see it. We walked out like, oh my God, that was amazing. You know, like I love Inside Out.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I love Pixar movies except for Ratatouille. And I'm sure this one's going to be good too. I really don't like Ratatouille. I'm sorry. I've tried. I've tried.
I think honestly, even though like I really like Ratatouille, sometimes I think it's overrated. Like overrated in the fact that people praise it so much that I'm just like, it's not as good as you guys say it is. It's good, but not like
it's really it's kind of one note. It wasn't Brad Bird's best.
No, that's true. It was
like Incredibles and Incredibles 2 are far better films. I think Incredibles is probably like my favorite Pixar film.
Right. I do like the score because Michael Giacchino, but like, which is to me, the score and obviously the rat pulling his hair scene is the most memorable.
Yeah, the Giacchino score is good, but then again, like you're not going to get better than Up. The opening 9 minutes of Up. Rational here asking, are you hyped for Cars 4?
Wait, there's Cars 4?
I don't know if there's Cars 4. I know that they're doing.
There's a Cars series on
with Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy. I did not really. I like Cars 2 is okay. I view Ratatouille. Ratatouille evoked a negative emotion from me. Cars 2 didn't. It just was like
there is a 4.
Right, but Cars 3 was surprisingly great, and I say that because Cars 3 was an adult emotional tale about being at the end of your career, and tried to get all of and coming to terms with that. It was very much a movie made for adults, and I really liked it. So I'll watch Cars 4, but I mean, I'm not going to like hold out hope. But then again, John Lasseter is not there to work on Cars 4. So I don't quite know what's going to happen with that.
There's no Cars 4. It's just
okay.
A series.
Okay. I mean, like the Cars tunes are pretty funny. I enjoy those little ones, but that was because there was all that hype over Mater,
Yeah.
And Mater, I don't know, Larry the Cable Guy has very much outlasted his I don't know. My what's the word I want to use here? The temper I have towards him is minimal, I should say. I can, it's kind of outlasted himself from me. Anyway,
he's just, I don't know.
So, okay, let's, okay. Yeah. The last thing here I want to talk about, this is what's going on with Disney today. This is also bad. So basically after the whole thing that happened today with the Don't Say Gay bill, what we have is Pixar coming out and probably a lot of other Disney employees that are really bashing Bob Chapek and bashing the company for how they're responding to this bill in Florida, because it was basically like a too little too late situation. And we're like, what is it? Like Chapek, knew about the bill and was choosing to not get involved. He didn't want the company to get involved politically, because he there was something I read that he had said, and maybe it was a paraphrase or an inference perhaps, but it was something along the lines of like, Chapek viewed the company as being perceived as too liberal, and he's a conservative. And so on that front, he wanted to like kind of scale it back and not have it play to either side, because there is alienating factors contained within, when you play to one, even though I would argue that a lot of the country is way more liberal than they want to let on. And especially in your major cities, you still have middle America that's not really there yet. And then when you have these movies that are meant to be worldwide general audience attracting films with the design of making money through not only ticket sales, but merchandise and home video sales, you know, like they are going to be trying to play to a worldwide audience. And I hate to say it, but in places like Russia and Saudi Arabia and parts of Africa and you know, like Hungary, like Turkey, very, you know, Muslim run countries, you have a very, very, very different approach to homosexuality. And that is why these expressions of the LGBT kind in these movies, they get cut out or they get whittled down and then outright removed for overseas. And that is where a lot of that's kind of where a lot of this is coming from here, this particular Variety article. So, I mean, I don't know how you view it. Like, I don't know if you care about this at all. Okay, I think Caden is... Oh, he left. I didn't know that he left. My bad. Okay, well then I was reading the article, so I didn't even say. Anyway, they got him. They got Caden, everybody. But it's all good here. So it says here, in a statement attributed to the LGBTQIA plus employees of Pixar and their allies, obtained by Variety, employees of the animation studio allege that Disney corporate executives have demanded cuts from nearly every moment of overtly gay affection, regardless of when there is protest from both the creative teams and executive leadership at Pixar. The stunning claim is part of a wider reaction to a company-wide memo sent to Disney employees by CEO Bob Chapek on Monday regarding its response to the recently passed legislation in Florida known as the Don't Say Gay bill. In the memo, Chapek states that the biggest impact the company can make in creating a more inclusive world is through inspiring content we produce. Which he's not wrong, but at the same time, it's like if you're going to cut it all out, then kind of what's the point, right? According to the Pixar letter that claims it's at odds with the employees' experience of trying to create content with same-sex affection approved by Disney executives. Saying here, we at Pixar have personally witnessed beautiful stories full of diverse characters come back from Disney corporate reviews, shaved down to crumbs of what they once were. Even if creating the LGBTQIA plus content was the answer to fixing the discriminatory legislation in the world, we are being barred from creating it. Now, a big part of that, as I specified the other night, and this is just simply my opinion, is that as much as I'm for creating this content, this is one of those things where you have to be very careful. You have to be very specific, very precise, because it is something that might get absolutely blown out in like certain circles and certain markets. And Disney, like Chapek, hate Chapek, understand that Chapek, his entire job is to protect the company and make sure the shareholders get paid. Caden, would you disagree with that?
I wouldn't. I would just say that, like, of course, as we know now with the news of like censorship and stuff, that there's a bunch of other, like Ryan Hartwell says that the Owl House show, which has two LGBT characters who are very prominent and who share a kiss on camera, not on camera. Well, you can say that, but anyway, whatever. On the show, which is a Disney Plus show,
Sure.
I believe.
It is, and overseas, the Owl House is being censored.
Yeah, and
so
it's
again, that's my whole point.
Yeah,
No, sorry.
And I think it's one of those things where I want this content, but at the same time, I understand why there is a limited on this content. It's weird, but it's just that means the world needs to be better.
It does need to be better. Absolutely needs to be better. But I think the anger here, right? This is okay. So let me explain like my side of this, because when I used to be pretty heavily into the whole anti-SJW thing, right? When I was arguing against, you could say modern feminism or whatever, or SJWs, like the blue hair types, you know who I'm talking about. One of the arguments was always like looking at these kind of things and these arguments that they would make in a situation like this. And it's like, listen, you understand the plight facing women and minorities and the LGBT community overseas. And yet you do nothing. You say nothing about it when it comes to overseas stuff. You know, we know that in Saudi Arabia, gay men are thrown off of rooftops. We know this. It's been videotaped. It's been shared around.
In Russia, you can't, like Florida now, you can't talk about this.
Yeah. And also in Chechnya, there are gay concentration camps.
Yeah.
Literally, so gay concentration camps in Chechnya.
It's like one of the things where, you know, you're honest members who need to clearly, you know, have this stuff, but at the same time you have, like you said, shareholders that need to make money, that are, of course, some of them probably are devoted Christians and are
sure. And I think the Christian faith has become a lot more open to the LGBT community over the years, and that's really good.
The OG Christians.
Yeah, the fire and brimstone people.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course, and because that's what it was, that type of, like, it was that and Jewish were the two big markets in Disney, and back then, you know, and those were, you know,
well, it's yeah. I mean, I get that. I think what it is though is like, look, I agree with Ryan here. You know, says you need to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Practice what you preach, and he's entirely correct. I don't like that this stuff is the way it is in these countries. I don't like that in Saudi Arabia, women just recently got the right to drive. They should have always had it, you know?
Yeah.
Iran used to be a far more liberal country before the Ayatollah took it over in the late 70s and just completely dominated it with very fundamental Islam. And that's a big problem with like the way that these countries operate. And so the atrocities that we have seen, the human rights violations that we have seen coming out of these places is definitely something that never gets the fuck addressed by a lot of these social activists. And I'm like, look, I get it. You probably can't do everything, you know, but like right now we're looking at a humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, and people are spending money on like Etsy stuff or on Airbnbs over there in Ukraine with no intention of actually like getting the product, but just finding a way to funnel money into the Ukraine to help out. And it's like, that's a really good idea. Could the LGBTQ community find a way to do that in these countries where it's illegal in order to maybe like fund a political movement or fund people to get the fuck out of there? Like there are things people can do, but instead they don't, and they just bitch on social media. Now, look, I'm not going to sit there and say that I haven't bitched about my own social issues or my own complaints about stuff on social media, and I don't do as much as maybe I should. It's hard to do. I get that. I also don't have it's also like the lack of leadership. I think a lack of cohesive leadership in these movements.
Although I do think that
you think what?
I do think that with the hashtag Disney thing, it should. It's one of the things where I say,
Are we? Did we lose you again? Caden?
Hello?
Okay.
Oh, it was weird. I said the whole thing and it totally just went out. I was just saying is that all these creators who are part of Disney, who are, you know, LGBTQ creators and who are creating content for their communities as well as also opening up to other communities, that, you know, them coming out with in social media is perfectly fine. And as we see also that they've sent emails with each other about these topics. I do think that they should continue that. At the same time, I think that they should, like you said, start doing fundraisers of sorts to show, hey, we're not just about ourselves, we're about other people too. You know?
Yeah, no, it's a tough subject, and it's not one that's going to be solved overnight, obviously. And of course, I'm not trying to shame anybody about it. My frustration about like these kind of campaigns are just in the vein of like, they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to do anything. I can already tell you, is that me being cynical and apathetic? Yeah, sure, maybe, but I've been around this game, guys, for a long time. You know, I remember 10 years ago when like Anita Sarkeesian entered the fray and the whole conversation changed, and how the media helped spur that along and fuel the fire of a lot of us versus us type scenarios, rather than acknowledging that there might have been some, you know, decent grievances on the other side. And that's kind of where we are. It's like, look at what happened with Sean O'Connell. His review, yeah, it's ignorant to the overall concept of the movie. Was it sexist and was it racist? And did he deserve to be canceled over it? No. Is he canceled? That has yet to be seen. But no. But people want to run with it because they just want to sit there and they just want to tweet about it.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem that I have with all this stuff.
And this
So
also like people are just reading. I just saw someone who tweeted out something about the China Call thing, like, and I read, I'm like, oh, you just saw someone tweet out Sean Collins being racist and sexist, and
you're tweeting. Yeah, it's like all the people last week that took what I said, clipped out the actual apology or any context, and then made me out to be this fucking monster and shit. That's how social media operates. I get that. I get that.
I do think that some parts of that, you know, like I said, it wasn't sexist or racist or anything. It's ignorant. And his apology, fine, he apologized, but it's still ignorant to a level that I don't think you can really be like, take that back, because it's out there now.
Yeah, well, you can. Well, yeah, it's the thing. Once people have their mind made up about you, it's very difficult to like. It's very difficult to change it.
And also, and people, and also you. But this is hilarious. Just like Sean O'Connell has this pattern of messing up with stuff. You know, he messed up with like the Snyder Cut book. He messed up with he's messed up with the interview with Kevin Feige, and was like, said something, and Kevin Feige was like, wait, what? Like, I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I don't think that one doesn't ring any bells for me.
I just remember people calling him out for it.
Yeah, I mean, we all trust me. Like we all get into it occasionally on the internet.
I just remember Kevin Feige and people calling out for it. But
well, it is. Look, it is unfortunately what it is.
Yeah,
but
it's just like.
Yet
weird.
Phil can be a misogynist. He's referring to Unfiltered, co-host of the Four Nerds, and you know, the guy who threatened to punch me over that comment. But yeah, you're right. People make a lot of mistakes, obviously, and it is one of those things. That's the problem, you know.
Are ignorant over? Yeah.
I mean, we call Saggy ignorant all the time, but we're friends. That's a different story. And she says, trust me, the shit she says to us privately is fucking insane.
That's a whole different story.
There's a whole different story. WP here says, SJWs care about what happens to the LGBT people in the US, but when it comes to LGBT people around the world, they don't give two shits. I don't think they don't give two shits. I think they don't know how to actively impact change for the better.
Yeah, I think it's just right, because it's not like, while they can impact change here because they know that that this government is about people's voices, internationally, because those governments, majority of those governments that are anti that aren't about the people's voice.
Yeah.
So you can't really change much.
Yeah. So well, yeah. Like, without moving there and facing certain death.
It's one of those things where they. Yeah.
All right. We're kind of losing you. You're cutting in and out.
Hello?
Yeah. You've been cutting in and out for a little bit.
Okay.
So, but it's all good, man. I do appreciate your insight, Caden, obviously, but I do need to wind this thing down. Command unit here did come in with a 15 shekel super chat. Thanks, man. Says react to Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 reveal trailer. So it's only a minute 16. We'll watch that, and that's what we're going to end out tonight with. But that being said, listen, guys, as we wind down the show, there's still over 80 of you guys here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We're at 44 likes. We can get to 50. I think we can do 50, guys. I really appreciate everybody. It doesn't matter, like it, not like it. It's all good. I just am so happy you guys are here, checking out the show. Tonight's been a massive packed episode, a lot going on. And again, tomorrow, as for Ryan asking about the can of soda, I have not had it yet. I will be having it tomorrow on stream. The reason why is I just didn't want to have caffeine this late. So since I have to be to bed here pretty soon, but we'll do it tomorrow. And so you guys I'll crack it on stream, right? I'll crack it and then I'll chug it. It's 8 ounces. Actually, I still have a 20 ounce in the fridge. So there's that. But all right, so yeah, let's check this out and see how it is.
My name. What is my name? Who I was before no longer holds significance. I choose you. I am reborn. Mankind languishes in a tumultuous galaxy, its potential shackled by a corpse on a gilded throne. We must look to the past for our salvation, to the primal gods who shape all that is. Let there be war upon this false imperium. Let the galaxy burn.
Yeah, burn. Cool. Although I think that was the wrong trailer, is what you said. Wrong trailer. Here, okay. Here, come in. Here's the thing, man. If do me a favor, because like we follow each other on Discord. Just like send me a Discord message with the right trailer. And we'll check it out. You said, just because I want to double check this one here. Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 reveal trailer. I see that there's a launch trailer. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. I missed this one. There we go. Okay. I got it right here. All right. We'll do this one real quick here. And then we'll wrap it up. Okay. I guess I must have grabbed the wrong one. All right. Let's give this one a shot.
An icon will fall. A god will awaken. A primarch will rise. The galaxy will burn.
All right. Well, that looks pretty cool. Those games always look pretty dope. I think Total Warhammer 3 is now an Xbox. Yeah, I can hear you now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, StreamYard's been having some difficulty.
No, it was my Wi-Fi was bugging for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I'm not on camera, is because my Wi-Fi, even though I'm like right next to the damn thing, it still messes up. So when I'm able to get
a room away,
it does that to me. It does that to me. It's really stupid. For all the technical marvels that StreamYard grants us, there's still the problem with the Wi-Fi. But all right, everyone, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Have yourself a grand night. Thank you again for watching, and peace the hell out.